All right, everyone, welcome in. Welcome to the Dustytron channel. And tonight you'll hear my live reactions to Packers versus Lions. This game should be a really good game. It's going to be interesting because the last time these two teams played, the Lions owned them, and it was in Green Bay. There was all that talk about, oh, the Lions, they haven't had to play any outdoor games in a while, or I think it was like their first of the season or something. And then there was all the talk that, okay, maybe that might slow down their offense, but they played totally fine in that game, and they totally owned the Packers. I think it was 24-6. Let me see what the final of that was. They won 24-14 back in early November. Yeah. So, but that score makes it look a little closer than it was. The Packers weren't really in that game. Jordan Love had a terrible game. Let me see here. Pop up my YouTube chat. Oh. All right, we got Steve and Sam in here. Go Lions. Yeah, I got to say, I'm saying go Lions. I've got my Julius Peppers jersey on tonight. Blue for the Lions, Peppers because Peppers played for the Packers. So that's what I'm going with tonight. I don't actually have any Lions or Packers jerseys, so. Yeah, I'm hoping for a good one tonight. I want to see a really close one. I'm afraid the Lions might just blow them out, but I think that Green Bay's got a bit of fight in them, especially if they can establish the run game. And Detroit's defense is so injury plagued right now. If the Packers can really control the game through the ground, I think that they'll have a shot in this one. Jordan Love just has to play clean football, and he has for the past couple of weeks, but yeah, if he starts making the mistakes, the Lions are going to make him pay. Yeah, no, Sam, I heard that. It was like 8 games into the season or something, and they hadn't played an outdoor game. And that kind of speaks to a lot of the teams, especially with all these billion-dollar stadiums that you're seeing come out now. They're all indoor. I think we're really starting to see a trend away from the outdoor stadiums. And I'm kind of torn about it because it's like, yes, there are some good games in like bad weather, but I do feel like for you to get the best product on the field, you kind of want to take the weather out of it. Because I think back to the Super Bowl between the Bears and the Colts, and it was just downpouring the whole game, and there were so many fumbles. Like that's not a good measure of who's the best team. So, oh Sam, you think that the Lions are gonna get blown out? I mean, yeah, there are a lot of players you have on IR right now. It's ridiculous. But yeah, this is an important one for the Lions tonight as they've got the Eagles hot on their tail. If the Lions lose this one, Eagles can definitely overtake them. I don't know I think it would come down to conference record right now. If I remember there's like 12 tiebreakers for the playoff teams, but I think between non-division teams, conference record is the highest tiebreaker or like opponents. Hey, JP Bugs, thanks for joining. Yeah, we're just getting ready here. Looking forward to a good game. But yeah, currently the line is Lions minus 170, Packers plus 142. Lions favored by 3. I mean, the Packers aren't a terrible bet there. I'm personally not going to do it because I think the Lions will win. Yeah, division wins I think comes down more to within the division. Because yeah, there's this whole, the NFL has a whole tiebreakers page. NFL playoff tiebreakers. Yeah, and I find it hilarious because number 12 is literally a coin toss. Like, if it's like, all of these things go wrong, none of these things could resolve it, okay, just to do a coin toss. But it's, like, impossible to get to that. But yeah, there's all the tie-breaking procedures there. Yeah, because it's 2 clubs within a division. Oh yeah, for a wild card team. So I think you would just do the same. All right, well, we actually got the kickoff going here. Packers kick it off, and it's a touchback. What a shock. The dynamic touchback, as I like to call it. All right, so we've got Jared Goff and the offense coming onto the field for the first time today. Yeah, I think it would be a big statement here on the first drive. Lions, they've got their division rival in their house, and they go down the field and get points here. Just start out hot right off the gate. But we do know that the last time these two teams played, it was on Thanksgiving last year in Detroit. And the Packers came out, and it was really surprising. They kind of obliterated them. Montgomery gets the carry. He's going to get 3 yards. So nice run up the middle there, getting us to second down. All right, we got a 2nd and 8. Goff under center. Brock right and Slam Laporta go to the left side. It's Montgomery in the backfield. Laporta in motion. Goff back to throw. Throws. He's got Amon-Ra. And he's about 2 yards shy of the first down, so we're going to have 3rd. Yeah, thanks for everyone who joined the stream last time for coming on again tonight. Should have a fun time. Yeah, well, good luck with that interview, Sam. All right, Amon-Ra in motion, 3rd and 2. Goff back to throw. He's looking Amon-Ra's way, and it's a completion for a first down. About a 5-yard gain. And the Lions move the chains. Yeah, Amon-Ra's in motion, and it almost seems like nobody picks him up. And he's just doing a quick out route, and he's able to get that first down. Just gets leverage on the corner there. All right, Jameson Williams in motion. Montgomery in the backfield is a play action pass. Oh, and it's dropped. Either was dropped or hit away by Amon-Ra. Amon-Ra St. Brown dropped it or is either hit away by the corner. But yeah, it's an incomplete pass. Oh, that's a drop for Amon-Ra. He's got to corral that one. Very rare you see Amon-Ra St. Brown drop a pass. All right, we got Laporta moving up to the line. Goff calling signals. Looks like the Packers might bring some pressure, and they do. It's a handoff to Montgomery, but he gets away from it. And he's got the first down and more. 13 yards on the run for David Montgomery up the left side. Yeah, the Packers were crashing and they brought extra pressure there. But once you get past that first line on a blitz, if you're able to get there, you're going to get some extra yardage there. Montgomery does a good job keeping his balance there. He stumbled a bit, but Yeah, the Packers not able to get him down until he crosses midfield and past the first down marker. So the Lions with a good drive going here. They're at the 45 of Green Bay. Goff fakes the handoff, throws, gets it to Gibbs. Gibbs running and gets about 7 there. It doesn't look like Gibbs is wearing his exact Sonic shoes from the other game. Unfortunate, but... Oh, JP Bugs, I hear you too. I've got Montgomery in a league as well, so I'm hoping for a good game from him. This bye week is ridiculous. It's the week before the playoffs, and there's 6 teams on byes. So if you're trying to push for that final playoff spot, this is not the week you want. Goff throws. Oh, he was stumbling, and that might be incomplete. Oh, you did an auction draft. I have one auction draft league. I don't do more than one usually because the drafts just take so long and you have to pay so much attention to them. And it's funny because it was actually a keeper league. And I kept 3 of my players, and I didn't have the biggest budget. I kept Saquon, A.J. Brown, and Puka Nacua, I believe. Oh, we've got 3rd and 3 here. Goff drops back from the shotgun, throws. He's got Jameson Williams, who's running down the right sideline, and they're into the red zone at the 10-yard line. It's 1st and goal, Detroit. Nice play across the middle from Goff to Williams. Yeah, Calvin Johnson was in the league. That was a while ago. I think, he retired in 2012, if I remember correctly? All right, we've got 1st and goal. Gibbs gets the carry. Oh, we've got a flag, and he gets tackled for a loss of 1. I think that's going to be a hold coming back. Generally, when someone gets to the outside and there's a flag, it's usually holding on the offense. So this is a big opportunity for the Packers here to keep the Lions out of the end zone and hold them to 3. That's at least somewhat of a moral victory. Yeah, it's unfortunate that Megatron retired so early, along with like Barry Sanders and stuff. You see that with the Detroit Lions organization, and you really do feel like just something has changed with the Lions organization. I don't know if it's Dan Campbell. I don't know if I think maybe ownership changed recently, or maybe it was a GM change, but the whole culture has changed there. People want to be with the team now. They were able to get some good free agents in the offseason, and things are just really looking up for Detroit. All right, so it was a hold. So the Lions are at the 20 with a 1st and goal. And it's a screen pass to Gibbs on the right sideline, and they pick up about 7 on that. Yeah, they just weren't winning. Yeah, and I think that speaks to the GM just not being able to put enough talent around them. Or it was a toxic organizational culture. Okay, yeah, I thought it was a change in ownership. Oh, and there's a pass to Laporta. He gets it down to the 6. So this is a very manageable 3rd and goal from the Packers' 6-yard line. As we approach 10 minutes left in the first quarter, a good, efficient drive by the Lions on this first possession of the game. Yeah, I wish we could have a new owner. That'd be nice. I was kind of like, I know Richardson had his stuff, but we seem to be a decently, stable organization from a football standpoint. Oh, it's an incomplete pass. Oh, but there's a flag! There is a flag in the back of the end zone. The pass was intended for Tim Patrick. We'll see if this goes as pass interference against the Packers. And if it was, this is a perfect opportunity for a 1-yard touchdown run for David Montgomery. That's funny, Sam. Yeah, I think. Oh, is it a whole? Oh, maybe they're calling offensive pass interference on this. I'm not sure. Let's see what the refs come up with. They're calling illegal contact, it looks like, on the Packers. So it's probably going to be half the distance to the goal, I bet. That's normally a 5-yard penalty, I believe. Yeah, I agree with you, JP Bugs. My organization is the owner decides everything. We've seen how well that works. But it's possible he's starting to realize that doesn't work and he's kind of letting off the control a little bit. I'm curious to see where this little kind of winning streak or more competitive streak leads us. I don't know. I can't, with how bad our team's been recently, I can't really hold hope. All right, we've got Montgomery, and Montgomery's into the end zone for a Lions touchdown! Knuckles into the end zone! And that gets me a touchdown for my fantasy league. So this is as big as I can make my screen right now, Steve. Yeah, it does look like the blue is doing something a little weird where it like green screens through the blue. Jake Bates setting up for the extra point. Hold is down. Kick is through. We have got 7-0 Lions with 9:41 left in the first quarter. That was a big drive by the Lions going down the field, making a statement, going up 7-0. Well, happy early birthday, Steve. All right, but yeah, looking at the playoff picture here. So we've got the Chiefs and Bills have clinched the playoffs, and that's so I guess the AFC East is so pathetic right now. The Bills kind of just clinched it by default, I feel. The Chiefs, you've got some teams that are actually competitive in that with the Broncos and the Chargers. So it's yeah, both of them are in the wild card race. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. How are they? Oh, they've clinched a playoff spot, not the division. Got it. Okay. I'm like, how did they clinch the division? There's no way. No worries, Sam. We're just here having fun. Not gonna be like, oh my gosh, he hasn't responded yet. But yeah, Lions go right down the field. Packers, they're going to need to respond when they come back here. It'll be interesting to see if Jordan Love is up to the task. I think, kind of what I was saying right at the beginning of this stream, I think it's paramount for the Packers' success to get Josh Jacobs going, because if they can control the ground game, kind of wear down that weakened Lions defense, and kind of keep the Lions offense as much off the field as much as they can, I really think that's the Packers' path to victory here. Because eventually, maybe the Packers will get a stop because their defense isn't nearly as banged up as the Lions is. So, definitely they'll want to focus on ball control. But yeah, besides the Lions and Eagles, I really think only. I kind of think the Vikings are pretenders right now. They've won a bunch of close games. I'm not super convinced that they're a real contender. But yeah, I really think NFC is Eagles or Lions. I don't really see anyone else winning it. Jake Bates kicks it off, and it's through the back of the end zone for another touchback. All right, Jordan Love coming onto the field. Yeah, the Packers, they've definitely kind of established a bit more of an identity this year with actually running the ball a lot more. I feel like not too much has been asked for Jordan Love because of that, but he is able to make the big play when he needs to. All right, Packers starting with a 1st and 10 from their own 30. We've got Dontavian Wicks in motion. Love back to pass, looking downfield. Oh, he's gonna get sacked in the backfield for a loss of 6. The former Packers, Zadarius Smith, with the sack. Yeah, I think Jordan Love just holds on to the ball too long here. Been indecisive. He had a decent amount of time in the pocket. All right, we've got Love under center. Jacobs in the backfield. Dontavian Wicks in motion. Love back to throw. Fakes throwing it to Jacobs and scrambles forward and gets 7. So they're going to have a 2nd and 9. They get some of that yardage back. All right, we've got 3rd and 9 as we approach 8 minutes left. Shot clock. Play clock running down. Love throws and something weird happened there. We've got Jayden Reed on the ground and a flag in the backfield. Love throws it to a spot in the field where there was nobody there. And either his feet got tangled up or he was interfered with. Let's take a look. That is pass interference on the Lions. Looks like they're going to get Brian Branch for it. Brian Branch has brought such a ferociousness to this defense. Such an integral part. But yeah, he clearly holds them there. That's pretty textbook pass interference right there. Yeah, that's really interesting that the top 3 running backs changed teams this year, but you're right. Jacobs gets the carry. Only able to find 1 yard on that. We're going to have 2nd and 9 as we wind below 8 minutes to go in the first quarter. 7-0 Lions. You're listening to my live reactions here on the Dustytron channel. So I was always of the opinion that Matt LaFleur wasn't actually that great of a coach, and that he was kind of just riding off the laurels of Aaron Rodgers. But I feel like what he's been able to do with Jordan Love right now, I really feel like that is showing that he's one of the better coaches in the league, at least from an offensive mind perspective. So you can call me Dusty, Steven. Yeah, you can call me Dusty. All right. Love under center. Throws a screen pass to Dontavian Wicks, and he's going to get about 3. So we've got a 3rd and about 6 coming up. We'll see what the Lions come out with a defensive call here. Love in the backfield in shotgun. He's back to pass. Surveying the field, throws off his back foot, and it's a little too far for Wicks. Wow, he's targeting Dontavian Wicks early and often in this game. Kind of surprising. I actually saw one of those push notifications from DraftKings Sportsbook trying to get me to bet on Jaden Reed to get the first touchdown because, oh, he gets the first. I forgot what they said. It was like he's had the first touchdown in the Packers like last 3 wins or something like that. It was some stupid, ridiculous stat. It's like, why am I ever going to bet that? I mean, if I stand up, I'm gonna go past the camera, so I don't think I can really do that. But yeah, it's mostly like that. All right, so yeah, it was punted away. The Lions are gonna get their second possession of the game when we see the next possession. Okay, so that was Chris Brooks in the backfield. I thought it was Emmanuel Wilson, but it was actually number 30, not number 31. Yeah, and they make it like they try to get people to bet the ones that it's like, oh, we already created this unlikely parlay for you. Just click this bet button and we'll take your money. Yeah, I really the only bets I'll do speculative bets about what you call it, about like who's gonna win MVP or something like that. I actually at the beginning of the year I do really enjoy betting the over unders of every team because I can look back after the season or the teams win over unders. I do like to bet that because I can look back and see like, oh, how far off were my predictions. I think I usually get a little bit more than half correct. But then there are some where I'm like, oh my gosh, I was so far off with that. But one of my big ones this year was saying not only were the Jets going to come under their win total, I also bet that they weren't going to make the playoffs. So I think I'm in a pretty good spot with that. Yeah, seriously, Sam. Although every ad now is like, oh, if you know someone with a gambling problem, or if you have a gambling problem, please call this hotline. Yeah, JP Bugs, it's all beer and gambling. And Crown Royal. I think that's one of the few like hard liquors that tends to advertise during NFL games. All right, we got 6 minutes and 38 seconds left in the first quarter. We'll see what the Lions do on this drive. Yeah, I think I like rum a bit more than bourbon, but I'll have bourbon from time and time again. All right, we got first down. Gibbs didn't get much on there, maybe a yard. All right, we got Goff in the backfield. Laporta lining up on the left side. Gibbs to Goff's right. It's a toss to Gibbs. Gibbs, oh, it looked like there was a hole for a second, but only is able to get 2. Yeah, I'll like have a rum on the rocks every once in a while, but I think generally I prefer like just having like a beer at night or something like that. Don't really drink too much. All right, we've got Williams in motion. Goff drops back. Oh, and he's gonna get sacked for a loss of 3. The Packers get into the backfield, and it's Rashawn Gary with the sack. Question of the night. I'm 5'7". Yeah, I was really hoping when the Bears were actually winning that with this new playoff structure, I really want to see an entire division make the postseason. It can happen now with the 3 wild card slots. You have the division winner and then the other 3. But oh, it's a short punt. Only goes to the 48 of the Packers. That's going to give the Packers good field position right around midfield with 4 minutes and 41 seconds left in the first quarter. Yeah, I feel like it's generally football Sunday, whereas like after a long week, I'll let myself have a beer or something like that. So that's kind of cool. All right, we've got Love out of kind of the half shotgun there. Hands it off to Jacobs. Gets about 5 on the run. Yeah. Oh, James, welcome to the chat. Yeah, I agree, James. I was saying that the key to the game here for the Packers is to try to control it with Jacobs and try to keep the Lions' offense off the field. And I think that they really could run it against the depleted Lions defense. So that's my thought of how they're going to win this game, but we'll see. Love throws right at the first down marker for Jayden Reed, but looks like it's going to be about a yard shy. So we're going to have 3rd down for Green Bay coming up. You got to love these divisional matchups late in the season when both teams have good records and they're vying for position. Oh, it looks like they're ruling it an incomplete. Yeah, they rule it an incomplete pass, not complete. Oh, it's a good call. He does not secure it. So it's going to be 3rd and 5. Yeah, that was crazy that the Bengals missed it 9 and 8. But yeah, all winning records. All right, so 3rd and 5 for the Packers. Looks like Jordan Love is changing the play. Sees something he doesn't like. Jacobs is off to his right. Watson in motion. Takes the snap. Oh, the Lions are getting in the backfield. He throws it and can't get it to his target. Was going for Watson, but falls about 4 yards shy of him. And this is going to force the Packers to punt. Or, if they think they're in no man's land, they might just decide to go for it. Yeah, Sam, I think that the Lions defense is actually looking really good right now for being so injured. All right, it looks like the the Packers are breaking the huddle with the offense still on. Are they going to just try to hard count them? We'll see. Or are they actually going to snap it? Love directing the offense, changing up the play a bit. 5 on the play clock. And they did not snap it. Not surprised there. They were just trying to pull them off. Which it was actually interesting. They were actually doing movements that looked like they were trying to call a play or like change the play or whatnot. So I'll give Green Bay some credit for creativity there, but yeah, didn't fool the Lions defense. They are disciplined. Yeah, I kind of felt that way with the 2015 Panthers. We had some injuries on the defensive side of the ball, but we had random people like Kirk Coleman or a super old Peanut Tillman, and we signed Cortland Finnegan as cornerback when we needed some corner help, but everyone just seemed to believe in that team. Like, I had no expectations for that Panthers team going into 2015 because we lost Kelvin Benjamin in the offseason, but it really was a bunch of nobodies that came together, and there was so much swag on that team. Looks like the Lions might have got away with a hit to the head on Love on that third down play where he had to get rid of the ball. Hey, yeah, when you establish a winning culture, yeah, you definitely get a lot more people bought in and giving their 110%. So I think it's when you get players who check out that like I just kind of think of the Lions right now. There's not the Lions, the Jaguars right now. They are totally checked out. They're not competing. All right, have a great night, Steven. See you later. All right, well, so far the Lions have done a much better job moving the ball than the Packers have. Packers, I think, have only gotten... I want to say they've only gotten first downs by penalties so far. I don't think they've actually gotten a first down. But yeah, thanks for everyone who's tuning into the channel. If you give the stream a like, that definitely helps. But yeah, we are just here to have fun. This is my first, as Sam and JP Bugs know, my first stream, I just did it on Monday night, the Browns and Broncos game, and I got Grossi rated, and that definitely boosted up the visibility of this channel a bit, so. All right, I don't actually know who Aleem McNeil is, so you have to tell me a little bit, Sam or JP Bugs. I would definitely say he's underrated since I've never heard the name. All right, we've got the game here. Jameson Williams gets about 7 yards on that. Oh, I could definitely see a defensive tackle being overlooked. Like, nobody... Like, I think the only defensive tackle who's gotten, like, any fame recently is Aaron Donald. But they do so much plugging up the holes and whatnot. Like, if you've got a good run defense, it's usually because the D tackles are doing well. And Goff back to pass, throws it away, couldn't find anything. Packers defense turning up the heat. We've got a 3rd and 4 upcoming with 3 minutes and 14 seconds left in the first. We've got 7-0 Lions over the Packers. You're listening to my live reactions here on the Dustytron channel. All right, we'll see. They hand it off to Gibbs. Gibbs, oh! Second effort might have gotten it. It depends on where the ref spots it. The ref is giving him a pretty favorable spot right now. So, Sam, is he a edge rusher or is he a tackle? Or are you just comparing him to Hutchinson because he's that level of talented? All right, Lions get a fresh set of downs. They do give them the first at the 21. Oh, it's a challenge flag by Matt LaFleur. You generally don't win spot challenges unless there's really clear evidence that he didn't get there. I thought it was close, especially with his second effort, so Matt LaFleur might be hard-pressed to win this one, especially because the ball that Jahmyr Gibbs was holding was facing the side judge, so he had a pretty good view of it. But we are going to look at this It's a challenge. Nice. I'll have to keep an eye on him. I have never heard of him. And I've been following the Lions pretty closely this year, but yeah, I don't know their deeper players. Oh, nice, nice. Have you done like Madden fantasy drafts in the past? I've definitely had ones where there were definitely players where I would target late in drafts because like I knew they were good and whatnot. It's been a while since I've done any Madden period though. The game is just awful now. But if you're the Jacksonville Jaguars, you think that Trayvon Walker is better than Aiden Hutchinson. I always thought that was a little bit suspect at the time. I'd seen some like film studies that were saying Hutchinson might not be able to deal with like double teams in the NFL, but I think he's definitely proven otherwise so far. I hope he comes back from this the leg injury he got, because sometimes leg injuries definitely slow you down. But I mean, we've seen Joey Bosa and Nick Bosa come back from ACLs, so some of these injuries aren't, like, while they're still really, really bad, the recovery and the effect to her career just isn't what it used to be. Yeah, because I think it was Terrell Davis. He tore his ACL and his career was basically over. And he was at, like, the height of his game when it happened. Nice. Yeah, I would do some fantasy drafts as well. Yeah, I would usually kind of change up the team that I would try to, because I would sometimes be the Panthers, but oh, I think we've got the ruling here. Yeah, the call stands. It's too close. Like, I think I think this kind of played into Matt LaFleur just trying to be a little aggressive and risky here. Because, I mean, it's at the Lions' home stadium. They're not going to give the visiting team a lot of views of that. So I think he kind of just threw it without really seeing it too much. All right, we've got a handoff to Gibbs. And Packers defense stays stout. No gain for Gibbs. Lions really trying to establish the run game here, but it's not really working so far. Their first drive, they came out passing a lot more, and they were having more success with that, but a lot of runs right now for Detroit. We'll see if the strategy pays off later in the game. We've got a 2nd and 10 for Detroit from their own 21. 2 minutes left in the first quarter. It's another handoff. This goes to Gibbs again, and he breaks a tackle. Gets about 4 on the play. Yeah, bounces off a defender there. Just a lot of power along with the speed that Jahmyr Gibbs has. So we've got a 3rd down upcoming for the Lions. 3rd and 5 as the first quarter is running to a close. Goff has it, and it's another handoff, and it's blown up in the backfield by Wooden. What a play by the Packers. And this is going to force a Lions punt. That's Colby Wooden, who blew up the play in the backfield. Yeah, I want to say that was 4 straight runs by the Lions. They did the 3rd down on the previous set of downs, and then they ran 3 straight times. I'm not quite sure why they're deciding to abandon their passing game. We've got a flag on this play as it's punted away. It's fair caught by Jaden Reed at the 25, but let's see what the flag is. Looked like it might have been on the Lions as they were trying to get downfield to cover the punt. We'll see what the refs say. Yeah, I agree, Sam. I think you kind of need more points here. It looked like a really good first drive by the Lions, but both teams have kind of stalled out since then. It's holding on the receiving team, so that's going to set the Packers back 10 more yards. They're going to start at about their own 15-yard line. 35 seconds left in the first quarter. You're listening to my live reactions to this game on the Dustytron channel. Yeah, I really feel like with how much you're setting up the run right now, you really in the second half should try to exploit some play action. Because the Packers are really bearing down on the run right now. Packers will soon take the field. So Jordan Love comes out and he's got Chris Brooks in the backfield. Looks like he's also got, that is Jacobs, yep. Love in the shotgun, Jacobs in motion. It's a handoff to Jacobs, and he gets through the middle, and that's a better run, one of the better runs by Jacobs on the night for 7. We'll have a 2nd and 3 for Green Bay. All right, Love going under center. Are they going to snap it before the end of the first quarter? They are not. I mean, maybe you do that to just try to get some free yards by having the Lions jump off sides, but it seems kind of pointless at that point. But we do have the end of the first quarter here. It is 7-0 Lions over the Green Bay Packers. You are listening to my live reactions here on the Dustytron channel. But yeah, that would be awesome if we got rated again at halftime. I feel like Grossi should choose someone else, though. It's like, spread the love around. But, hey, I wouldn't mind it. Yeah, so many chats were coming in. It's like, I don't even know what to respond to here. I can't even read all of this. But yeah, Perna cursed the Ravens and the Chargers this week. Let's see who they play. I don't know offhand. Do. Oh, why did he... The Ravens are on bye. Okay. That's an oversight. And the Chargers play the Chiefs, so don't think you really want to curse them. Yeah, I know. Ravens are on bye. What the heck? Usually he's pretty good about realizing that, but guess not this time. Maybe. Yeah, that was crazy. I haven't really read up too much on that. But yeah, some weird things were coming out of Carolina, too, that he wasn't being a team player. So I wasn't necessarily sad that he left, that we traded him away. Granted, he did seem to be having a decent season, but when we first got him, I already had that feel from him with how he was playing with the Steelers, how he wasn't putting effort in on some plays, so... I mean, we're such a terrible organization, so beggars can't really be choosers for who we get in free agency. But I was still kind of like, about that pickup. Yeah, it's just weird. Like, why there hasn't been a lot of context around why he didn't come into the game. All right, 2nd and 3 for the Packers. Love under center, drops back, throws a short pass. He's got Christian Watson, and Watson, oh, he fumbled the ball! Fumbled the ball, and he got hit going to the ground trying to get some extra yards, and it is recovered by Detroit. Oh, that's a big play for the Lions. Jalen Reeves-Maybin recovers the fumble. Nope. Wrong player. It was David Long Jr. Yeah, I think he doesn't have the ball in the arm that's going to the ground, so I think that's a fumble. Yeah, Carlton Davis punches it out. That is definitely a fumble. And a huge mistake by Watson. DJ Moore is known for his physical play, but when he was a rookie on the Panthers, he would always fight for so much more yardage and fumble the ball. Receivers have to learn they need to get down sometimes. Goff back to throw. Throws it across the middle into a tight window, but gets it to Laporta for a Lions first down. At about the 45-yard line of the Packers. I had to spot start Watson in one of my fantasy leagues this week too, so that's not great. I think I was a net 0 play, got like 20 yards, but then fumbled the ball. Goff under center with a 1st and 10 from the 44 of the Packers. Williams in motion. Hands it off to Montgomery up the middle. Gets about 5. So the Lions, we've got some flags at the end of the play here. The Lions pointing towards the Packers. This might be a late hit. Yeah, they're calling a late hit on the Packers, so that's going to add 15 to this, get the Lions closer to the end zone here. Oh, it's Walker who pushes over, I think, Skipper. I think Skipper kind of initiated it, but it's usually the one who gets the last hit in that gets flagged, especially when the person who gets hit then flops. So, 15 yards to the Lions there. No, I think David Long has been on the team for a bit. Goff throws. It's a little overthrown for Brock Wright. If that's Amon-Ra, he might be able to catch up to that. Brock Wright, your blocking tight end, not so sure. Yeah, I think the concept is a good play here. Wright gets some separation, but Goff just leads him too much, and it might have been a bit on the pressure. Montgomery does a good job picking up the blitz, but the packet was collapsing, so Goff might have launched that a little bit before he was ready. Goff back to throw, hands it off to Gibbs, and he's met right at the line and pushed backwards. The Packers are a little bit smarter this time and don't throw him to the ground. Don't want a second personal foul there. Oh, so, okay, I'm wrong. Yep, David Long is a more recent acquisition then. I know I had seen the name before, though. All right, we've got 3rd and 10 for the Lions. They've got 4 wide receivers, 1 running back. Goff back to throw. Throws it across the middle. It's incomplete, intended for Jameson Williams, and this looks like it's going to lead to a Lions field goal. But it will give them a 2-possession advantage as we have 13 minutes and 5 seconds left in the second quarter. So Jake Bates has been very sure-legged this year. Missed one last week against the Bears, though. It's the only miss he's had on the season. We'll see if he can convert this from about, I want to say, 38. The kick is up. And it is good. The Lions have a 10-0 lead over Green Bay, with 13 minutes and 1 second left in the second quarter. Over under, let's see. Looks like the over-under is 50.5 right now. That's what I'm seeing on DraftKings. Okay, so can I just say that I love Jake Bates? I think his story is awesome. I think he played for Arkansas. He was a soccer player and then just happened to, like, kick in the last season. It was just kind of a fluke that he came in and kicked for him. But NFL was not really on his mind at all, but I guess he was good at it. And so the Michigan Panthers of the UFL signed him. And he had an amazing season, started to become a kind of viral player. And then the Lions, and he's the other cool thing is he's a Michigan native, I'm pretty sure. And the Lions actually took him on as a kicker because he's from Michigan, and he's been doing great for them. So I think it's a great story. The other one from the other kicker from the UFL is Brandon Aubrey of the Cowboys, and he's a fantastic kicker in the league too. So while I think the UFL doesn't really want to be known for sourcing kickers into the NFL, there are some actually really good kickers who have come from there. The only other player I can think of is Cavante Turbin of the Dallas Cowboys. He was a UFL, played for Birmingham Stallions. It's one of those things where it's like, I want spring football to be successful. I don't watch a ton of it, though. But I do kind of follow some of the names. I watch the playoffs, and I'm curious to see like if they can do well in the NFL at all. I think it's a really good story when they can. PJ Walker, after he played in the XFL, getting signed by Carolina and making like a backup career for himself in the NFL, was kind of cool. Got some starts here and there. Oh, that's crazy that the Texans turned him down and then you won with his 2 super long field goals. Oh, he's from Houston. Oh, so maybe it is just he was playing for the Michigan Panthers, though. I knew it was some Michigan connection, so maybe it was just that. All right, well, speaking of Bates, he's kicking the ball off for what will surely be a touchback. And it is. So exciting. Yeah, the MVP of the USFL, no one could stop him there. And now really all he can do in the NFL is return kicks. But hey, he had that electric one against the Commanders, which helped them win that game. So he has a role. He's stuck around long enough that it's like, okay, this guy's talented enough to actually remain on a 53-man roster in the NFL. So that's pretty impressive in my book. All right, we've got the Packers with the ball at their own 30, 13:01 left in the second quarter. Tucker Kraft onto the left side. Love snaps the ball, hands it off to Jacobs. Trying to get him going. Looks like he gets 4 yards on the play. Yeah. Didn't he hit like a 63-yarder at Ford Field for the Panthers, I think? I think it was something like that. Let me see what his UFL long field goal is. All right, we've got Jaden Daniels in motion. It's a 2nd and 6. Another handoff to Josh Jacobs, and he gets past the first down marker and gets it into Lions territory at the Lions 48-yard line. Big run by Josh Jacobs. And here we go, the repetitive runs here. It's going to start wearing down this Lions defense, and I think that's what the Packers were going for. Just looking up. Okay, so it was a 51-yard field goal, it looks like. Oh, 3 from over 60 yards. Okay. So we're back. It's a handoff to Emmanuel Wilson, giving Josh Jacobs a bit of a break. It's a 5-yard gain. But yeah, it's interesting because I only know of Emmanuel Wilson because I had to sub in a player. I think it was either him or Patrick Taylor last year. It was a really random thing. I had to take a guess between one of those two players who was going to sub in for Aaron Jones because A.J. Dillon was out last year. Ended up neither of them actually really got many snaps in that game, but I only know Emmanuel Wilson because of that. Yes, I do remember Rod. He hate me smart. He returned kicks for the Carolina Panthers in our 2003 Super Bowl year. Love has it, hands it off to Brooks. Brooks, with the extra effort, is going to get the first down. Depends on, yeah, the spot gives him the first. That was an excellent extra effort by Brooks. Chris Brooks with a powerful 3-yard run. Yeah, I can imagine the Raiders are really missing Josh Jacobs right now. Zamir White hasn't panned out. Alexander Madison hasn't. I think... who was it? I saw them running the football. It looks like some early movement by the Lions there. Lions player touched the Packers player. Was he drawn, though? I think it was encroachment on the Lions' part. Yep, they're calling it on O'Connor. Pat O'Connor gets flagged for encroachment. Yeah, don't know what he saw, but he just kind of started early and then just engages the center with both hands. All right, so it's a 1st and 5 for Green Bay from the 32 of the Lions. Kraft running in motion. Jacobs has the ball, but is going to be stopped for only a gain of 2. So now it'll be 2nd down for the Packers. They had some decent blocking up front there, but just couldn't quite get the hole open for Jacobs. Yeah, agreed, Sam. It seems like the penalties are definitely helping the Packers get down the field on their drives. We've got Jacobs, and he's able to get about 7 and another Packers first down. So the Packers approaching the red zone. I believe they're at like the 25-yard line right now. We'll see if the Packers can make something out of this drive. All right, we got a 1st and 10 as we just tick under 9 minutes left in the second quarter. We've got Jaden Reed in motion from the backfield. Jacobs gets the handoff. Looks like it's going to go for about 1 yard. There is a flag in the backfield. This might be holding on the Packers. Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing a lot of fight from the Lions defense here. But yeah, it does seem like they're making a couple of mistakes here, but that's to be expected. But it is holding on the Packers. And that's going to back them up. Actually, now that I think about it, I think the Packers drafted Chris Jenkins Jr. Oh, no. He's on Cincinnati. I only follow that because his dad, Chris Jenkins, was a defensive tackle for the Panthers back for our 2003 Super Bowl team. So I always kind of followed him a bit. All right, Love back to throw. Surveys the field, throws, gets Tucker Kraft, and he's drilled right when he catches it. It's going to be second down. I think he got about 6 on the play. Clock is going under 8 minutes. All right. Love back under center. 2nd and 12. It was an 8-yard gain. Love fakes the handoff. Steps up in the pocket. Running. Getting close to that first down marker, and he has it. 2 yards past, and it's a Packers first down. Yeah, Sam, what do you think about Terrion Arnold this year? I've heard he's been pretty good. Maybe he's had some rookie struggles this year, but for the most part, he's promising. I thought it was a great pick by the Lions when they were able to grab him. Especially because corner was their weakest spot. All right, Packers with a 1st and 10 from the 13-yard line of Detroit. Hands it off to Josh Jacobs, and it's nope, not Jack Campbell. Then there's a flag. It's Turner who makes the stop in the backfield. Flag is thrown. Let's see what happens here. It's a legal contact on the Lions, so that's going to give the Packers 5 yards and a first down. Lions getting a lot of penalties against them right now. Looks like they're flagging Zadarius Smith. Yeah, that's good. I really do feel like... Oh, maybe it's illegal hands to the face on Smith there. Looks like he got under the face mask a bit. Yeah, I really do feel like it takes a while for corners to adjust, but when they figure it out, they figure it out. All right, it's a 1st and goal for the Packers at the 7-yard line of Detroit. Josh Jacobs with it, plowing forward, gets it to the 2-yard line. A big power run by Josh Jacobs through the tackles. Yeah, no, I feel like there was a lot of value of some of those defensive picks later in the first round. So who do you think is better, Terrion Arnold or Quinion Mitchell? I've heard a lot of good things about Quinion Mitchell over with the Eagles. All right, we got a 2nd and goal from the 3-yard line. Love calling signals. Getting ready for the snap. Takes it. It's another... Oh, he fakes the handoff and had Kraft wide open, but overthrew him. Oh, Love, how do you miss that pass? You cannot miss that. That is a sure touchdown. But sails it over the head of Kraft. That is rough. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I wish I could say that I had 4 cornerstones on my defense. That's great. All right, it's 3rd and goal for the Packers. Love getting under duress. Oh, and there was some contact. Oh, and it was just about Terry and Arnold, who we had talked about. The Lions actually intercept the ball, but there's no way that this is not going to be against the Lions. There's contact in the back corner of the end zone, and you saw the official throw the flag right away. This is definitely against Detroit, and it looks like it's against Terry and Arnold. Yeah, I heard good things about Nate Wiggins, too. So some pretty good corners coming out of this draft. Yeah, definitely an armbar by Arnold there, not allowing Watson to get back to the ball. So this is pass interference against the Lions. Going to be a 1st and goal for the Packers at the 1-yard line. Yeah, Sam, I feel like we might have jinxed him a little bit. Oh my gosh, Terry and Arnold, so good. Pass interference. Oh yeah, Jack Campbell too. He's a really good cornerstone as well. Yeah, it's really good to get the linebacking core right. I can speak to that with having Luke Kuechly before. It just really changes your defense. Here's the carry. Jacobs into the end zone, and it's a touchdown for Green Bay. Yeah, you knew that one was coming, and it was going to be hard to keep Jacobs out of the end zone. And the Packers get their first touchdown of the night. Yeah, it was really a really good draft for them where they got Campbell and Gibbs there. An offensive key piece and then a defensive key piece too. I know a friend of mine, he's a really big Lions fan and he's huge on Jack Campbell. And here's the extra point. Oh, it's wobbly, but it goes through. So the Packers cut the lead to 3 points. It is 10-7. Lions over the Packers. Here in the second quarter. Yeah, that was the type of bruising drive the Packers needed. They were establishing the run throughout most of the game so far. Granted, there were some mistakes by the Lions defense that kind of prolonged the drive, but I really feel like they were able to get Josh Jacobs going in the run game. They didn't have to rely on Love too much. It's so true, JP Bugs. If you can build your team in the draft effectively, and it's a very difficult thing to do, but if you get it right, then you're good for years because you've got such a young core, you've got a value core that you're not paying a ton of money to, and you can build a lot of talent around that. Yeah, I wanted to give I thought that the Bears GM was doing some really good moves as well when he was able to get a lot of talent around Caleb Williams. But now I'm kind of thinking it's almost more like when Tepper was trying to be aggressive and get talent on our team when we were nowhere close to competing. Because the Bears, they do not have an offensive line, and that is one of the key pieces you need for a rookie quarterback. So I thought it was cool some of the big flashy moves he was making and surrounding Caleb with talent, and I mean, of course, he pulled off the trade with my team with Bryce Young and stuff, getting DJ Moore and a bunch of draft picks. And who knows, maybe Bryce Young will be our franchise quarterback. He just took a little bit longer to get going, but I do see some grit with him with some of these drives he's been leading down the field at the end of games, and that's part of the thing you want from your franchise quarterback. Maybe they're not always perfect, but when they're put in the moment, they can deliver. So I'm a little bit hopeful. We'll see. Yeah, the Lions, after that first possession, Sam, they've really slowed down here. For all those who are live viewing the stream, give the stream a like if you can. It helps out the channel a bunch. Okay, interesting. So you didn't want to trade for Myles Garrett. I mean, I'm assuming that's because of the draft capital. Yeah, I would agree. That would have been to give up like multiple firsts for like a premium edge rusher. That would have been very much a win now mode and not like, because I mean, you're doing really well with the core that you have, and this could be something that you can sustain for years if you just kind of keep the core intact. So you might not want to give away the premium draft picks just to try to like ensure you win the Super Bowl this year, because there's no guarantee that that move makes it. It's one position. In football, it's how the whole team plays. One position just isn't going to win it for you. And I think Za'Darius Smith was a very great pickup. I mean, he's no Aiden Hutchinson, but he's not. He's a very he's a good quality edge rusher in the NFL. Yeah, because he was. It would. I think he's already been extended by the Browns once, but they would probably definitely have to take a good chunk of that salary. All right, Lions back on offense. Let's see if they can get something going. It's a handoff to Montgomery. Montgomery bouncing around, gets about 8 on the carry. Good first carry for Montgomery on this drive. We're going to have a 2nd and 2 as we run down to 5 minutes left at halftime. Didn't Za'Darius Smith play for both the Packers and the Vikings? I think he played for the Vikings as well before the Lions. So he's done a good amount of touring around the NFC North. All right, we got a 2nd and 2 under 5 minutes to play in the second. Amon-Ra in motion. Goff back to pass. Quick release. Gets Jameson Williams over the center. Gets it to about the Packers' 41-yard line. And the Lions hurrying up to the line of scrimmage, trying to keep their momentum going here. Yeah, it's a quick, decisive throw by Jared Goff across the middle. Hits Jameson Williams in stride, and a big gain. Goff back to pass, throws. It's Montgomery on a screen. Montgomery trying to follow his blocks. Not quite set up as well as it could have been, and it's about a 5-yard gain. But yeah, if the Lions can keep this clock running, they can take out most of the half, not give much time to the Packers to respond. And yeah, we've got it there, 2nd and 5. Goff from the shotgun, Jameson Williams in motion. Goff changing up the play a bit, it looks. Play clock winding down, takes the snap. They pick up the blitz, they try to get a back shoulder to Jameson Williams, but he wasn't looking for it. Incomplete. Oh, you're right, Cleveland. Yep, he came over from Cleveland. You're right, JP Bugs. My bad. All right, it's a big 3rd and 5 for Detroit here. They're kind of in no man's land here. They might go for it on 4th if they don't get this. Goff under a bit of duress, but dumps it off to Montgomery, who's able to catch it and pick up the first. For a 6-yard gain, gets 1 yard past the first down marker, and the Lions' drive continues as we run below 3.5 minutes left in the second quarter. That was a great play by Montgomery. He kind of pretends to block there and then pulls away and gives Goff an option when he didn't really seem to have much going for him. And it's a nice dump off, a good check down, and Montgomery's able to get the yardage. Gibbs comes into the game. He's in the backfield for the Lions. Amon-Ra rotating to the right side of the field. 3 wide receivers upright. Goff back to throw. Throws. He's got Laporta wide open. And Laporta going to get about a 13-yard gain. Packers trying to pull him down. Still trying to pull him down even though his forward progress was stopped. Players getting a little chippy after that one. Yeah, I remember Bud Dupree. He was on the Steelers and then he kind of fizzled out when he went over to the Titans. So JP Bugs, it sounds like you know a lot about the college football draft, like prospects coming up. I confess I don't follow college as much. With the expansion to the 12-team playoff bracket, I'm gonna really try to watch a lot more of those games to get myself more familiar with like the draft prospects that are coming into the draft. But I don't really know too much right now. There's a handoff to Gibbs. He's getting to the right-hand side. And gets about 3. There's a lot of running for not much yardage. Gonna have about a 2nd and 7. So I guess, what do you see as the top draft picks coming into this draft? I hear a lot of people trying to say, oh, maybe Shedeur Sanders will go pretty high up. I kind of don't like that. I'm not convinced about Shedeur Sanders' talent. Travis Hunter, I think, is questionable as well, but I haven't honestly seen enough film on him to really make a decision on that. I just know he plays in a weak conference, so I'd be concerned about drafting that super high, but I've heard the name Cam Ward thrown around. Also, Carson Beck, I've heard from Georgia. I have a friend of mine who's a huge Georgia fan, and I was actually watching the 8 overtime game with him, and that was actually really exciting, the Georgia game against Georgia Tech. That was crazy. Oh, interesting. Okay. Do you have a prediction of who you think will go first overall? Or have you not really looked enough into the draft yet? No, I think Arch Manning is he's either 2027 or 2028. He's not even playing right now. He's behind Quentin Ewers, I think, on Texas. Which I don't know. I don't understand why Arch Manning went to Texas. Oh, that makes sense around the Senior Bowl. Yeah, I feel like that's when you kind of get those people who play well in the Senior Bowl and their stock, like draft stock, skyrockets. I'm not talking about anyone like Daniel Jones. That Senior Bowl makes me think Daniel Jones. That's all I can really think of. Oh yeah, Connor Cook. He actually started a playoff game. Not because he really led the Raiders there, but because both Derek Carr and Matt McGloin went down with injury, and it didn't go so well. All right, so the Lions have the ball here. Doing a good job milking the clock down. Second and 7 with 1:53 left in the second. Officially below the 2-minute warning. Packers only with 2 timeouts, so the Lions do really control the clock here. It's a screen pass to Laporta. Laporta barrels forward to the 4-yard line, and another Lions first down. This is a big response drive by the Lions here. Packers get a touchdown on the previous drive. Lions coming right back, and they've got goal to go. Okay, I understand that, Sam. Yeah, I feel like in college football, for you to really follow it, you need to have a team you're really passionate about, because there's just way too many to follow. So you've almost had to like grow up with them or gone to the college or something. Goff hands it off to Montgomery. Are we going to get the second Knuckles touchdown of the night? He's 1 yard short. 3-yard gain for Montgomery on first down. And it looks like the Packers have called time with 1 minute left in the second quarter. Oh, whoops, I never updated this. It is not the first quarter. It is the second quarter. That is my bad. Still getting used to this. Was definitely more focused on keeping the score up to date. All right, we got Goff at the 1.5 yard line. Oh, Goff goes forward. I don't think he got that. I think he's short. Looks like he's like a foot short. One side judge saying touchdown, one said he was short. We'll have to see what the ruling is. For now, it's a touchdown, but that will be reviewed. Not going to update the score until we have it confirmed. I have heard that the Michigan and Michigan State rivalry is huge. Oh, no, they correct it. They correct it and say that it's a third down. Oh, he's clearly short there. Yeah, Sam, sorry, don't think it's a touchdown. Yeah, so I think a lot of the quarterbacks going early has to do with the rookie pay scale. You can pay a quarterback really cheap, relatively speaking, on the rookie pay scale now. So teams are a lot more willing to use those high draft picks to try to get a quarterback. So I think that's why you're seeing maybe not the most prolific quarterbacks still going like 6 of them in the first round because teams are willing to make that gamble. Okay, if he's like Charles Woodson, that would be pretty impressive. I heard from my friend once that, yeah, they were watching a Michigan State game at, like, a casino sports book, and, like, both of they were, like, separated out amongst, like, the room. Like, one half was Michigan, one half was Michigan State, and they were, like, starting to get up in each other's faces and stuff like that. It was, like, really rowdy and really ridiculous. I'm all for being passionate about a team and whatnot, but that kind of goes, that in my book goes way too far. Yeah, and Travis Hunter is playing both sides of the ball, right? Wide receiver and cornerback. All right, Goff with a 3rd and goal goes up to center. He got up there quick. He might just go up the middle again. Oh, it's Montgomery. Montgomery hit in the backfield, and he's not going to get there. Hit down in the backfield. It was led by Rashawn Gary. And it's a 4th goal, and oh my gosh, you know Dan Campbell wants to go for this. But he's been stuffed 3 times in a row, and yeah, the Lions line gets overwhelmed here. Okay, I actually think it was Kenny Clark who was the first one to hit him in the backfield. The Lions offense still on the field, but they might just be trying to run the clock down as low as they can for a field goal attempt. They call timeout with 14 seconds left in the 2nd quarter. You're listening to my live reactions on the Dustytron channel. We've got 10-7, Lions over the Packers with 14 seconds left in the 2nd quarter. They're on the 2-yard line of Green Bay. Are they going to go for it, or are they going to just take the 3? If I'm betting on Dan Campbell, I think he's going to go for it here. Yeah, and I don't think that's Montgomery's fault. I think I was blocking up front, or either that, a good play by Kenny Clark, but he was right in the backfield. Montgomery didn't have a chance. All right, here we go. They're out here. This is the identity of the Detroit Lions. 4th and goal, 2 yards away. They've got a motion man. Goff back to throw. He's got Gibbs. Touchdown, Lions! And there are no flags on the play. That is definitely a touchdown. No question about it. 2-yard touchdown pass from Goff to Sonic in the end zone. We've got a Sonic and Knuckles touchdown on the night. Yeah, Gibbs just gets inside leverage on that route, and Goff able to find him, and it's a perfect touchdown pass. And Bates with the extra point, and it's good. We have got it. Lions reestablish their 10-point lead. 17-7 over the Packers with 11 seconds left to play in the quarter. That's a huge play for the Lions before the half. The Packers receive. If the Packers were able to hold the Lions to a field goal and then they receive, the Packers could have gone down the field, gotten a touchdown, and taken the lead in the game. So I feel like this was a huge touchdown for the Lions to get, and a super aggressive call by Dan Campbell that pays off. Oh, that's a cool stat. Yeah. Undefeated in games where both Gibbs and Monty got a touchdown. Hey, I was for a while doing like uniform combination superstitions. The Panthers were always really bad wearing their black uniforms, but they'd win when they'd wear white. I even carried it over into Madden when I would be playing with the Panthers, and it's like, oh, no, can't wear the black jersey, gotta wear the white jersey. Or the blue jersey, too. It's just something, yeah. And also, Super Bowl 50, they were wearing their black jerseys, and that was their very cursed Super Bowl. Although, to be fair, they also wore the white jerseys in Super Bowl 38 and lost as well. So, maybe we just stink. Can't pull out the Super Bowl wins. So, the Packers with no timeouts, I don't really see them doing anything before the half here. First and 10. Yeah, and I think they're coming out in a quarterback kneel formation. It's going to be 17-7 Lions going into halftime. There you have it. Love kneels the ball down, and we are going to halftime. Halftime, and it's 17-7. Lions over the Packers. You're listening to my live reactions here on the Dustytron channel. All right, Sam, what are you thinking about the Lions so far? I feel like they started out fast, they ended fast, but they were a little sluggish in the middle there. We'll have to see what they can carry over into the second half. Okay, Ashton Jeanty? That's interesting. I feel like a lot of the running backs, they're kind of going more towards like smaller scat backs that receive passes out of the backfield. I remember like drafting a lot of the running backs this year in like dynasty fantasy leagues I have, and I didn't see one over 5'11". Like the running backs are a lot smaller in the league now. But I mean, that's probably how they've had to evolve, because you're really not looking at bell cow running backs anymore. Like, your Derrick Henrys in the league are a rare bunch now. Yeah, I feel like... Let's take a look at Jordan Love's stats right now. Been finding it hard to actually find live stats recently. Yeah, they don't have any stats there. Yeah, and NFL.com kind of hides their stats. Let's take a look. Yeah, we'll see what happens. The Lions did start out strong against the Bears last week, but let them back into the game. So we'll see what happens. I don't like seeing the Lions blow leads. I'm like, they're a dominant team. Let's show that you're dominant. Keep the lead. But yeah, if they let the Packers back into this one, you might get a little bit concerned, because they did it last week as well. All right, where we got some stats here. All right. All right, Jordan Love. He's only he's only thrown 7 passes in this game. Josh Jacobs has carried the ball 9 times. Jordan Love has carried it 3 times. So yeah, they've thrown the ball 7 times, but they've run the ball 14 times. So you can definitely tell what the Packers are trying to do in this game. Yeah, Jordan Love, 3 of 7 for 31 yards. Ugh, I had to spot start him in a different league in a hyperflex spot. That's not going to be so great. Okay, no, NFL.com is wrong with these stats because they show Christian Watson having 1 reception, Tucker Kraft having 1 reception. Oh, whoops, I read that wrong. Okay, they're all right. Yeah, each receiver for the Packers only has 1 catch. That's kind of ridiculous. But yeah, definitely Josh Jacobs is running 5.4 yards a carry. They need to keep feeding him the ball if they're going to have success. Jared Goff, 14 of 20 for 131 yards and a touchdown. Montgomery, his stats, not super great. 7 carries, 32 yards, 1 yard, 4.6 in average. Gibbs, he's having a lot of trouble running the ball right now. 8 attempts for 14 yards, just 1.8 a carry. Goff with 1 attempt for 0 yards. The receiving leader is Jamison Williams with 54 yards on 3 catches. Sam Laporta, 4 catches for 40. Jahmyr Gibbs, 3 catches for 16 yards. Montgomery with 2 for 11, but he had that really important 3rd down 6-yard reception. Amon-Ra with only 2 catches for 10 yards. Take a look, and I wonder if I can see some time of possession here. Yeah, Lions winning the time of possession battle by about 5 minutes. 17 minutes and 44 seconds to 12 minutes, 16 seconds. 3rd down efficiency, Green Bay is 0% on the day. Green Bay is 0%, Detroit 50%. Green Bay winning the rushing yards, 80 yards versus 46, but Detroit destroying the Packers in passing yards, 128 to 24. Total yards, about a 70-yard advantage for Lions. They're up 174 to 104. Yeah, Sam, I can see that. Amon-Ra gets such a chip on his shoulder. All right, so we might have talked about this last stream, but what are people's current Super Bowl predictions right now? I think my official one is, yeah, maybe we did talk about this, but I think I said Lions Chiefs and the Lions would actually beat the Chiefs in it. I just feel like I heard Hollywood Brown's getting close to coming back from injury. I really feel like the Chiefs, they know how to win in the playoffs and they're going to find a way to get to the Super Bowl. I don't think they're going to win it this time, though. Biggest positions in need, everything. But if I'm to be totally honest, our defense is an utter mess. Now, part of that is Shaq Thompson went down with injury for the year. So did Derek Brown. I really like Derek Brown as a defensive tackle, but we definitely need an edge rusher. We definitely need corners. Our corners are terrible. We need a middle linebacker. Safety's overrated, so I don't really put much stock in that. But we definitely need edge rusher, middle linebacker, corner. So I think I'd be fine with either of those. On offense, we still need to bolster our offensive line. I think our running backs with Chuba Hubbard and Jonathan Brooks are fine. Let's give Bryce Young another year, not draft another quarterback. I could see us doing something like, okay, maybe we give Bryce Young another year, but maybe like if Justin Fields is available, give him like a short contract or something to be behind Bryce Young or something like that. I mean, betting for the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl is not a bad proposition, especially when they've just been so dominant the last few years. So, and they've got the refs on their side a bit. I don't know. The number of games where they've pulled out these ridiculous last second wins, they're 11-0 in one score games. It's just utterly ridiculous. I mean, you saw that a couple of years ago with Minnesota, but it didn't feel like, you felt like at least Minnesota earned some of those. There are just so many random happenstance things happening, like the Raiders just fumbling that snap when they were in field goal range. Now, I'm not 100% convinced that Carlson would have made that field goal anyway, because I think he had missed 3 on the day regardless. So I know everyone's up in arms about the fumble there, but if Carlson was going to miss the field goal anyway, then if that probably would have been worse, I think, if the field goal was missed. Would it hurt more? So maybe Raiders fans were spared a little pain. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like you want to believe this is the year for the Bills. And actually, I think you brought this up last time that it would have been great if it was the Lions and the Bills, because it's like it would have been a guaranteed first Super Bowl win team. I think someone else said Vikings-Bills because it was a battle of 0-4 Super Bowl teams, which would just be funny. But yeah, the Bills always choke in the playoffs, and they just can't get past Kansas City. The Ravens can't get past Kansas City in the playoffs either. And those are the 2 top contenders in the AFC. I mean, for the playoff picture right now, besides those 2 teams, it's like, do you really think the Chargers, the Broncos, or the Steelers are going to overtake the Chiefs? I don't think so. And it's like, you could argue like, oh, the Steelers' defense is really good. It's got to be able to contain the Chiefs' offense. The Chiefs' offense isn't their strength this year. It's struggling a lot. So I don't think that they have an advantage in that part. Now, a curious thing down the line for the Chiefs is that it does seem like their defense is starting to buckle a little bit. They got passed on for a bunch of yards by Aiden O'Connell and the Raiders. So it'll be interesting to see if they can actually keep up their defensive prowess, or if people are just thinking, oh, it's the Chiefs' great defense, they automatically have a good defense, but they're actually giving up numbers now. So it is insanely hard to three-peat in the NFL, so in this salary cap era, so it'll be really interesting if they can do it. Okay, Will Johnson, Michigan? Is he a projected first rounder? Oh, really, Sam? I know back in the day, to both have 12 touchdowns. So I think I'm going to throw a Panthers one at you. Jonathan Stewart and D'Angelo Williams, I think, are the only running back duo to have over 1,100 rushing yards each. They probably didn't have the touchdowns, but I think, yeah, they're the only ones to both have over 1,100 yards. Okay, so top 5. It's one of those things because, like, I do really like J.C. Horn as an aggressive corner, but he never stays healthy, so I can't really evaluate him that much. We just haven't seen. I think this is year 3 for him. I think we drafted him in 2020. No, he was 2021. He was the same draft class as Justin Fields. So this is year 4 of him. He's made some good plays, but he just can never stay on the field. So I do kind of think corner is a need of ours. Actually, that's an interesting point, Sam. Let's see where they both are at in rushing yards on the season right now. Okay, why do I care about his projected? Oh, maybe that's like a fantasy thing. Okay, here we go. So Jahmyr Gibbs is at 973 yards and 10 touchdowns. And then let's take a look at David Montgomery. I don't think that's counting this game. And David Montgomery's at 720, so they got a long way to go. But it would be interesting if they could do that. Oh, that's a really interesting point. Yeah, no, Ohio State is always known for their wide receivers. Yeah, wasn't it? They had, it was Terry McLaurin was there, Garrett Wilson was there, Marvin Harrison Jr. What was the other one? Oh, there was one more. But yeah, they've had some. Jackson Smith and Jigba. They've had, yeah, I think it was C.J. Stroud had Jackson Smith and Jigba, Garrett Wilson, and Marvin Harrison Jr. to throw the ball to. So that was my concern about C.J. Stroud. And when I was actually against the Panthers drafting him when those initial reports were coming out. That they were going to take Stroud. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's just another Ohio State quarterback who had insane talent around him at the wide receiver position. So I was happy at the time that we didn't draft him. Now, who I wanted, I thought Bryce Young was the safe pick, but I actually wanted Anthony Richardson because he kind of reminded me of like Cam Newton, not going to lie. And now that I kind of look at how his career's playing out, like Cam Newton never had a good completion percentage, but he had all the rushing stats to go with it. I mean, even his MVP season, I think his completion percentage was 59%. It wasn't good. But he had all the rushing yards and 10 rushing touchdowns to go along with it, so he just was a dynamic playmaker. And I think that Richardson can get to that point. The Colts just have to stick with him. But the first two seasons of Cam Newton, both of them were losing seasons. And it wasn't until year 3 that we really put it together. Oh, no. Not McNeil. All right, Bates kicks it off. It's a dynamic touchback, and the Packers will get it at the 30-yard line as we start the second half here in Detroit. You're listening to my live reactions here on the Dustytron channel. Yeah, JP Bugs, stop destroying the Lions' defense. Awesome, we've gotten 4 likes on the stream. We unfortunately did not get rated by Grossi this time. All right, first play is a handoff to Jacobs. Hit in the backfield by Brian Branch, loss of 1. Big hit by Brian Branch coming from the secondary. Yeah, he just knifes in, snuffs out the play. Fantastic execution by Brian Branch on the tackle there. All right, it's a 2nd and 11. Love and shotgun. 4 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Jacobs comes back into the backfield. And Love going long. He's got Watson! Watson completes, catches the pass, and he's down all the way to about the 15-yard line of Detroit. Huge play for Green Bay. Oh, Carlton Davis, the free agent acquisition this year, gets burned by Christian Watson there. Able to fortunately make the tackle. Watson not quite able to outrun him. But yeah, that looks like he's going to be down at about the Lions' 13-yard line. A huge statement play by Green Bay coming out of halftime. They've got a 1st and 10 from the Lions' 12, and it's a play action, and it's to Watson again, but he drops the ball. Had it in his hands, but couldn't hang on. It's going to be 2nd and 10 with 13 minutes and 26 seconds left. It is 17-7. Lions over the Packers here in the 3rd quarter. Yeah, that's a tough play, Sam. Hopefully the Lions defense can clamp down and hold them to a field goal here. All right, they break the huddle. Love goes under center. Wicks in motion. It's a play action fake to Jacobs. Love lobs it into the end zone. Going for Watson again, but can't connect. We've got a 3rd and 10 for Green Bay. Yeah, so Watson only had that one catch on the one target the entire first half. He's been targeted 3 times this half already. Packers calling the play. 3rd down, Lions fans getting rowdy here at Ford Field. In the shotgun. Jaden Reed goes from right to left. We've got a corner blitz coming. Love throws into the end zone. It's a touchdown to Tucker Kraft. 12-yard touchdown pass from Jordan Love to Tucker Kraft. And the Packers cut it to a 1-possession game. That's a nicely placed ball by Jordan Love. Got it away from the outreached hands of the corner. That's Carlton Davis again. Gets beaten twice. He actually had good position, just it was a good pass by Love there. Carlson kicks the PAT through, and we are back down to a 3-point game, 17-14. Lions over the Packers. You're listening to my live reaction here on the Dustytron channel. So now the Lions, they've been able to, every time the Packers have scored a touchdown, 1 of 1, they've been able to come back and get a touchdown of their own. We'll see if they can respond with another touchdown of their own on the ensuing possession. Yeah, no, Sam, that was not a good look. Maybe during halftime the Packers identified something in their defense, and it really could be that they were running so much that they were able to finally go over the top and get a big play. But yeah, 2 minutes into the half, Packers make it a 3-point game. Lions definitely have to respond to that. Hey, I mean, every time the Packers have scored a touchdown in this game, you've responded. So let's see if that streak can continue. Granted, it's only 1 for 1. But yeah, I'll definitely have to look up on Will Johnson a little bit. Do you know if there's any good linebacker prospects coming out? I feel like ever since we lost Kuechly and Thomas Davis that there really hasn't been a good linebacker on the Panthers. I mean, Shaq Thompson has been serviceable, but he just is not on, he's not on the same elite level that Thomas Davis and Luke Kuechly were. I really do feel like Thomas Davis, he was such a beast, but he's going to be overshadowed by just how good Luke Kuechly was. Which he is a semifinalist this year. I think I'd be a little surprised if he got into the Hall of Fame this year, but, oh, JP Bug's heading out. All right, have a good one. Thanks for joining us. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I feel like there's not usually a ton of linebackers up at the high point of the draft. There might be like 1 or 2. All right, we've got another dynamic touchback. I'm going to see if the Lions can respond to that quick touchdown by Green Bay. Yeah, I mean, credit to Green Bay. You gave up that touchdown before the half to the Lions. You needed to come out with a statement to start the second half, and that was definitely a statement to start the second half. All right, so Goff and company start from the 30-yard line. We've got Jahmyr Gibbs in the backfield, Brock Wright playing at fullback in the eye. They fake the handoff to Brock Wright, but then give it to Gibbs. And he's going to get two. There is a flag down on the field. We'll have to see what this is. Alright, so yeah, there's no flex for Monday Night Football. Yeah, there never would be, actually. Alright, Goff. 1st and 20. The penalty was a hold against the Lions, and Amon-Ra looks like he gets 5 on the catch there. Gonna have about a 2nd and 15 or 16 here, I believe. All right, Goff in shotgun has Jahmyr Gibbs to his right. Goff throws. Oh! Goff is intercepted! Intercepted at the 30-yard line, and the Packers are running it back. Oh, this is a terrible start to the half for the Lions. Oh, what a bad play there. Nixon steps in front of the pass, and now the Packers, with a ton of momentum on their side, already in the red zone. I think this window just isn't there. Goff tries to force a ball, and Nixon able to just cut in front of Tim Patrick there. And then runs to the right side and gets a lot more yardage. Green Bay. Usually it's Xavier McKinney getting the interceptions, but this time it's Nixon. And I think that's something that's really set the Packers defense apart this year from previous years. Their defense has generated turnovers, and we see another one there. Jaden Reed in motion. Packers with the ball at the Lions' 16-yard line. It's a handoff to Josh Jacobs on the right side. Gets about 2. Gonna have a 2nd and 8 with 12 minutes and 10 seconds left in the third quarter. Brian Branch a little slow to get up there. This is an absolutely huge drive for the Packers, but it would be monumental for the Lions to hold them to a field goal here. Love out of the pistol. He's got Josh Jacobs behind him. Steps back. Throws. Has Dontavian Wicks diving for the first down marker. Let's see if they give it to him. Looks like they do. No, it's right at the line. Well, they hurry it up. Before the Lions can challenge, they gave him the first. Josh Jacobs pushing his way to the end zone and gets it in for a Packers touchdown. Josh Jacobs with his 2nd touchdown of the night, and he gives the Packers their first lead tonight. 3-play drive right down the field. That is not what the Lions defense wanted to happen. They looked like they were confused, weren't expecting the hurry up from the Packers, and Josh Jacobs takes full advantage of them being out of position and just rams it up the middle for a touchdown. And Carlson, oh, that extra point was almost blocked, but it goes through. And the Packers were down 10, but now possess a 5-point lead over the Lions. You are listening to my reactions here on the Dusty Tron channel. We are having a good game so far. I was really hopeful that this one would be close. And the Packers assert themselves and get back in, or get in the lead for the first time in this game. This second half, 14 unanswered points for the Packers, and we're barely 5 minutes in. Lions need to figure something out and fast. Or at least just kind of slow the pace of the game down. Packers coming out furious to start this second half. Yeah, I just was feeling like after that first game, Sam, I felt like the Lions would handle it well, but yeah, I think the weak defense and getting punished by Josh Jacobs here is definitely wearing them down. I think you're starting to see signs of wear in the second half. But yeah, kind of looking forward to who's going to make the playoffs. Let me see if I think anything's going to swap out here. I'm going to put my predictions in the chat for the NFC. Oops. All right, so there's what I think the NFC seeding will be. I think the Lions do hold on, but it's going to be really tight with the Eagles. My big thing is that I don't think that either the Seahawks or the Falcons are going to hold on to their division leads. I think the Bucs are going to come back and overtake the Falcons, and then I think it's going to be a slugfest between the Seahawks, Cardinals, and the Rams. And I just think the Rams are the most talented of those teams. Yeah, and I could also see the ranking change too, because right now the Seahawks are ahead of the Falcons, but I could see the Bucs. I like what the Bucs are doing. I think that they could win out. I really like how scrappy the team can be at times. I think they've just got a really they've gotten really unlucky with their injuries, particularly losing Mike Evans for so long and then losing Godwin for the season. All right, Lions are back at the 30-yard line. I'm not a believer in the Vikings. Goff throws, it's a dump off to Gibbs, gets about 5. It's not a turnover this play, so that's progress for the Lions. 2nd and 5 coming up as we wind down below 11 minutes. Just 4 minutes into the third quarter, and the Packers have entirely flipped the script of the game. Goff throws, completes it. I believe, yeah, that's Tim Patrick who got it at the 40-yard line. It's going to be a 1st and 10 for the Lions. Yeah, so I think that the Packers are the better team than the Vikings. I think the Vikings are a bit overrated. I think they've had some super close victories, and that's just not sustainable. They could be one and done in the playoffs in my book. Darnold's gonna break eventually. Goff, it's a pitch to Gibbs, only about 2 yards. Gibbs not getting anything going on the ground this game. Montgomery having a bit more luck. Got 2nd and 8 for Detroit. They definitely got to get a couple first downs on this drive. Give their defense a rest. they take away some of that momentum from Green Bay. Maybe if they don't even score, they at least got to get some first downs here and keep the Packers offense off the field. Goff throws. Oh, it looked like it was complete, but Laporta drops it. We're going to have a 3rd and 8 coming up. Big 3rd down conversion here. Yeah, I think that Laporta just drops this. Yeah, Laporta, it's right through his hands. Perfect pass by Goff, and Laporta just doesn't secure it. And I'd hate to think about the NFC Championship game against the 49ers here, but it kind of seems like they're imploding a little bit like they did in that game. Looks as if a ref might have been injured on that play. Yeah, the MVP, the official. Yep. That's only when you're talking about the Chiefs. Alright, doing my AFC playoff predictions now for the final seeding. Yeah, I think I have to keep it as that. I'd probably have to look at the schedule to see if they happen to play each other, but... I feel like I'm not a believer in the Texans, but I believe the Texans just win that division by default because no one's going to take it from them. Ugh, this is rough. Those wild card teams are good. Yeah, I don't really believe in anybody who's in the hunt right now. So that's my AFC predictions. I want to say that the Steelers could overtake the Bills, but I don't know if the Bills have that difficult of a remaining schedule. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I just don't feel like the Steelers can pull it off. Okay, well, the Bills, they do have to play the Lions and the Rams. So those are losable games. But then they get layups with the Patriots and the Jets. Although, I will say the Patriots are starting to build something with Drake May. They're being competitive in games. So I'm sure, because the Bills always tried to play spoiler to the Patriots at the end of the season, I know the Patriots would love to play spoiler to the Bills. Yeah, I agree. The Lions is the hardest game left on their schedule. That should be a really good game. Fortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to stream that one. All right. It's a screen pass to Jameson Williams, and they get 1 yard away. They get a 7-yard gain. Do the Lions keep the offense out on the field? Looks like they are for the time being. Yeah, I know. If the Bills lose 2 games, the Steelers could definitely overtake them. All right. Looks like the Lions are at least set up to go for it. Oh, Goff goes forward. And what a gutsy call. He's able to get it, and it's a first down for the Lions. So we saw the Lions are 2 for 2 on fourth down conversions today. They had the touchdown conversion, and they have the fourth down here to get them into Packers territory and keep this drive alive. Very risky there, though, because the Packers, all the momentum goes on their side if you miss that. Yeah, so the Steelers, they definitely have to win that game against the Chiefs if they're going to have any shot at that 1 seed. All right, we got 1st and 10. Goff, play action fake to Montgomery. Now throws it to Montgomery with blockers out in front. And he's able to get forward for the first down. Looks to be about a 13-yard gain for Montgomery on the screen. Oh, I thought that had a lot more potential, though. He had 3 blockers out in front of him. But the Packers do a good job tracking him down and are able to limit it to 13. It could have been much worse. All right, it's a 1st and 10 from the Packers 37-yard line. It's a fake handoff to Gibbs. Goff rolling right, surveying the fields, takes off with it, and he's gonna, he almost was able to get it to the first down, but goes out of bounds just 1 yard shy. Oh, that is a really hard stretch. Yeah, Ravens, Eagles, Chiefs. Yeah, so I think I'm going to stick with my pick that it's Chiefs, Bills, Steelers then. I think that makes a lot of sense. Because I could easily see the Steelers losing 2, if not all 3 of those. 2nd and 1 from the 28 of the Packers. Williams in motion. Oh, there were some Packers in the backfield, but Gibbs gets out and gets to the right side. And that's going to be 1st and goal, I believe, for the Lions. As we run under 7 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Yeah, we see the Packers. They get into the backfield there, but Gibbs able to get by them. Carl Brooks got into the backfield but couldn't make the stop. It's 1st and goal. Lions from the Packers 8-yard line. Goff drops back, throws into the end zone, and throws it out of the back of the end zone. Didn't have any target. I agree, Sam. What a great run by Sonic. Yeah, I feel like Gibbs is so dangerous when he gets to the outside. But the Packers have done a pretty good job keeping him contained today. All right, Lions break huddle, 2nd and goal. We've got Gibbs in the backfield, Amon-Ra in motion from left to right. Gibbs has it, has the edge, but it's a good play by the Packers defender there, McDuffie, to drag him down before he could get to the end zone. It's going to be a 3rd and goal from the 4-yard line. Yeah, he did throw it away there. I mean, it was probably something like he was specifically looking for one read and it wasn't there, so the play design is to just throw it away in that case. He's got 3 wide receivers to his left, Laporta tight end to the right, Gibbs to his right in the backfield. Gibbs has it, goes up the middle, and on 3rd and goal, that's only going to get them 2 yards. If you're Dan Campbell, you went for it on 4th earlier. You're 2 for 2 on 4th downs today. Do you go for it on 4th down? A field goal is valuable here. It makes it a 1-possession game. But your defense has had a lot of trouble holding the Packers' offense. And in Terrian Arnold's case, that's literal. Oh, they snap it. They are going for it. Goff throws. Touchdown! To Tim Patrick! 4-yard touchdown pass. And what another, it's another 4th down conversion and another gutsy call by Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions on 4th down. Wow. This team is tough as nails. Tim Patrick, you gotta love his story. He was starting to emerge with the Broncos, had a ton of trouble getting back onto the field after injury, goes over to the Lions, and he's caught a couple touchdown passes this year, I believe. And the extra point is good. Lions reclaim a 3-point lead. 24-21 over Green Bay. 3 for 3 on 4th down conversions. 2 of those going for touchdowns. You're listening to my live reactions here on the Dusty Tron channel. Yeah, seriously, like that is a Madden-esque call there. It was even like a slant across the middle. I feel like slants were always so broken in Madden. I had a friend of mine I used to play with Madden with as a kid in the early days of Madden, and I had Ron Dixon in the slot, and all I would do is a simple curl route, and it would always go for 10 yards because we were young, we didn't really understand how defenses work, so he didn't know how to cover, but then he adapted to a defensive play which blitzed a linebacker, which made it so I couldn't get the throw off the 10-yard curl route in time. And so I couldn't figure out how to do that. So the tides turned on that. But it was, I mean, looking back in retrospect, we just didn't know man versus zone coverage and whatnot. So it was kind of ridiculous. But yeah, all types of routes in Madden did used to be broken. I'm not really sure how the state of the game is now. I know they were trying to tighten that up, but I feel like I've seen so many YouTube videos where the AI is just broken, especially with offensive linemen trying to throw blocks downfield. It's just kind of ridiculous. So Goff is now 20 of 29 for 170 yards, 2 touchdowns, and that really bad pick. It was a bad pick. Jameson Williams still the receiving yards leader for the Lions at 61. 7 targets for Jameson Williams. Packers, Jordan Love, still only at a 50% completion percentage, 6 of 12, 110 yards and a touchdown. Their receiving leader, obviously Christian Watson with that big catch he had. But yeah, the NFC North crazy with all 3 teams, the worst of them only having 3 losses on the year, that being Green Bay. Yeah. Yeah, I've tried to play online before and I just get roasted. People know the game so much better. I remember I played an online game and I was having success with like running quarterback runs with Cam Newton for a little bit. But then the person I was playing against started taking control of the safety and just sniffed out my run immediately whenever I would try to do it, and he obliterated me. All right, Bates kicks it off. And it's a touchdown, it's a touchback. What a kick. What a shock. Another touchback. I don't think we've had a single run back in this game. They've all been touchbacks. Oh, so here's an interesting thought. I heard Tom Brady talking about this week, and I feel like I'm kind of in agreement with it after the the hit on Trevor Lawrence. I feel like quarterbacks should be penalized if they fake going out of bounds or slide late. I think that if you are trying to protect the quarterback, they shouldn't be able to exploit the defense to get extra yards. Oh, we've got a flea flicker here for the Packers. Oh, but it looks like it's not there. Could have been disastrous in the backfield for a big sack, but Love is able to get rid of the ball. Incomplete. Yeah, no returns. Just eliminate the kickoff. This is getting ridiculous. Yeah, flea flicker there. Just didn't have anybody downfield in a good spot. Lions did not bite on it, showing good discipline. Brooks in the backfield. Love in the shotgun. He's also got Jacobs to his right, but Jacobs moves in motion right before the play, gets the handoff, and it looks to be only about 1 yard he gets. Yeah, wasn't that against the Lions? I thought I saw that, and then like Jack Campbell like hit his legs, and I saw that live, and I'm like, that's totally on Caleb Williams. I know he's complaining about getting his knee hit, but he literally faked going out of bounds. You're asking for it at that point. 3rd and 8 for the Packers as we get to about 4 minutes left in the third. Play clock running down. Packers got to snap the ball. I don't know if they got it off. We'll see if the Packers called time. No, the flag is on the field. Okay, it looks like they are giving Green Bay the timeout, but those timeouts, they become really valuable in the fourth quarter, so it's rough that the Packers had to spend one here. It is 24-21, Lions over the Packers. You're listening to my live reactions here on the Dustytron channel. About 4 minutes and 10 seconds left in the third quarter. Third and 9 for the Green Bay Packers. Dontavian Wicks was moving in motion at the beginning. He throws. It's complete to Christian Watson. It looks like Terrion Arnold and Christian Watson caught it simultaneously, but they give that to the offense when that happens. And he is short of the first down. So a big defensive stance, 3 and out forced by the Lions, and the Lions are going to get the ball back. Campbell hit him hard as punishment. Wasn't that came out and Dan Campbell said like their strategy for that game against Caleb Williams was just to hit his ass? Sounds about something Dan Campbell would say. There's the punt. It is fair caught at about the 21-yard line. Lions have the ball back. This is a good chance for Lions to reassert control in this game. 3 minutes and 22 seconds left in the third quarter. We've got a great matchup here. That punt went for 41 yards. Time to check up on some of my fantasy matchups. Oh, nope. We've got the Lions back. Okay. My spot start of Christian Watson is somewhat working out this week. All right, Goff starting from the 22-yard line, under center. Fakes the handoff to Montgomery, now throws to Montgomery. Montgomery looks like he's only going to get about 3. Oh, nice. Jahmyr Gibbs got over 1,000 rushing yards. Good for him. Second and 7. And here's Montgomery going to the right side. It looks like he's only going to get 1 yard. And so now the Lions faced with a third down. 3rd and 6. You've got a great opportunity to take control of this game. You don't want to go 3 and out yourself. Look for an aggressive play call by the Lions here. They've been doing it all game. Goff, back to throw. Throws across the middle, gets Tim Patrick, but he looks to be 1 yard shy of the first down. He was trying to stretch forward for the first down marker, but just couldn't quite get there. And now, is Dan Campbell going to push his luck with the 4th down conversions? 4th and run. The offense is still on the field. They are in their own territory. Do you really want to give the Packers, potentially give the Packers the ball right here? They've got a heavy set up the middle. Packers expecting a quarterback draw. They snap this ball, and it's a toss outside to Gibbs, and he is not going to get there. He is down 1 yard short. And I have never been a fan of the tosses on 4th and short. So Dan Campbell presses his luck with his 100%. 4th down conversion percentage does not work out this time. Yeah, it's good play by the Packers getting by the Lions blocks there. Lions need to do a better job blocking for Gibbs. Just didn't have much, and he might have even fumbled at the end of this. He did, but it doesn't really matter. And so now the Packers in prime field position. I don't think you need to go for it there. I understand it's your culture. You've been succeeding on 4th down, but no. All right, Josh Jacobs goes up the middle. Gonna get about 3. Screen pass can sometimes work. Maybe not like a bubble screen. But yeah, there's so much ground you have to cover on a toss to make it work. It's just not worth it. But I feel like we're coming up with an exciting conclusion to this one. Lions, they really got to hold Green Bay to 3 here after missing that 4th down conversion. We got a 2nd and 7 under a minute left to play in the 3rd quarter. Love takes the ball, drops back, throws. Oh, it's bobbled by Kraft, but he catches it, keeps himself in balance, and gets clocked at the 7-yard line. And it's 1st and goal for Green Bay. Yeah, either that or it needed to be just a draw by Goff up the middle. But it looked like the Packers were expecting that, so I can understand why they did the toss outside. It's just there's too much yardage you need to make up on that. It had to be quicker, maybe like a jet sweep or something like that. So the Packers can run the quarter out. Will they snap it before the quarter? Looks like they're gonna let the quarter run out. And that is the end of the 3rd quarter. We have got ourselves a game going into quarter number 4. It is 24-21. Lions over the Packers with 1 quarter left to play. I don't think you could really ask for a primetime divisional game better than this. One field goal separating the two teams going into the 4th quarter. And with this stream, we've seen some crazy games so far. We saw the crazy finish between the Browns and the Broncos. Are we going to have just as crazy as an ending for the Packers and the Lions tonight? Yeah, I agree. Like, if I was a fan of either team, I would be like, yeah, come on, let's just have the 40-0 win and be done with it. I remember those 2015 Panthers. We would get huge leads, but then we'd always like drop the lead at the end, but we'd still somehow hold on to the lead at the very end of the game. It was super nerve-wracking. When I was a kid watching the 03 Cardiac Cats, though, I was in New York, so I didn't get to see many of their games. But I bet if I had watched some of those ones where we went into 4 overtimes, that would have been nerve-wracking as heck. I do remember watching the double overtime game against the Rams, though. I actually, and this is one of my Panthers shames of my career as a Panthers fan. It's the X-Clown play that Steve Smith ran into the end zone to beat the Rams. Their like most famous play in franchise history. I had stepped out of the room to use the bathroom, and I come back and they won the game on that play. I did not see that play live. And to this day, I'm kicking myself for it. But it had just gone into double overtime, and I'm like, okay, well, this one's going to go for a while. I'm going to try to use the restroom really quick. And then, of course, I miss, like, the best play in Panthers history. All right, Packers break the huddle. They've got a 1st and goal from the 6 of the Lions. Lions really need to keep the Packers out of the end zone here. Love serving. Snaps the ball. Fakes the handoff to Jacobs. Back to throw. Not seeing much now. Dumps it off to his tight end. Looks like he got about 2. That's Ben Sims with the reception. Yeah, I feel like I've seen most of the other famous plays in Panthers history, but yes, I did miss. It's literally, the play is called X-Clown, and it's known amongst Panthers fans as X-Clown, and yeah, I missed it. Jordan Love snaps the ball, gives it to Jacobs. Jacobs up the middle for his 3rd touchdown of the night. Touchdown, Packers! Josh Jacobs, so reliable on those short yardage plays. And the Packers reclaim the lead with a chance to make it 4 instead of 3, requiring the Lions to get a touchdown to take the lead. So I do have Josh Jacobs going in one of my fantasy leagues. Let's see how that one's going. It's a league where I'm also on the edge of the playoffs, so I needed a big performance from my team. And it looks like he's delivering tonight. Field goal is good. The point after is good, and we've got 28-24 Packers here early in the 4th quarter. Yeah, the teams just keep going blow for blow here. We'll see if, well, actually, yeah. Well, okay, so they haven't actually gone back and forth because the Lions threw that pick. But it seems like whenever the Packers do get a touchdown, the Lions tend to respond. So we'll see what they can do this upcoming drive. Montgomery having a good game, has 16 fantasy points for me. Laporta, 8. It's respectable. Josh Jacobs, though, has 27.9 for me, so that's a good showing. Yep, Josh Jacobs helping me out a little bit. How are your fantasy playoffs looking, Sam? Or if you, I can't remember if you had said earlier in the chat if you're not really involved in fantasy leagues anymore. No, it's a fair point, and it's always the dilemma of would you prefer to see your team win or would you prefer to see your fantasy team win? I've had a few situations of those in the past of teams playing the Panthers. Unfortunately, now I usually have them play against the Panthers D because it's so bad. Goff throws. He's got Tim Patrick. Tim Patrick fighting to get to the 50, but he's down at the 48. First down, Lions, as we approach 14 minutes left in the quarter. About a pickup of 18 on that play. There's a playoff play action. Goff gets separation there, throws it above the outstretched arm of one of the D linemen there. Tim Patrick able to make the catch. There is an injured Packer on the field. Timeout on the field. Yeah, I feel like, so a little while back I was really into fantasy, and I was like doing leagues with just total random people. I was listening to the Fantasy Footballers podcast for a while, and I joined up some of their leagues. So I've got some Dynasty leagues in there because none of my friends really wanted to do Dynasty, and I was really curious to do a Dynasty league. So now I have a group of people online that I've got all these Dynasty leagues with, that I'm in a couple of them with. But that's kind of starting to slow down a little bit. But yeah, I've got a couple of other leagues that some of my friends run. But really, I feel like I peaked with fantasy football probably in like 2021. And some of those leagues I've just kind of stuck around in since. But life's busy and I don't have time to keep track of all the injuries and stuff anymore. I know there's been a couple of times this year I submitted a waiver claim. It ran like really close before game time, but Sleeper doesn't auto start your players you get off waivers, so I didn't put the defense I claimed in beforehand or whatnot, so I lost a game because I forgot to put my defense in or something like that. So there's just stuff like that, or a player will get injured at like the beginning of the game. It's just rough luck. So I used to really research it, try to get like the best matchups and whatnot, and I did have good success with that, but now I just kind of do it for fun. Yeah, when you're doing fantasy, you can't just draft your favorite team. It doesn't work. I actually have a Panthers tumbler here that I'm drinking out of. Panthers jersey, Panthers tumbler. Yeah, I feel like that's just the way it goes. All right, we've got Goff back to throw, dumps it off to Montgomery. Packers trying to strip the ball away, but he holds on. Looks like it goes for about 7. Oh, nice. Is it like the same one? Same brand? Yeah, I forget what. Oh, yeah, the Tervis brand. Yeah, they had an NFL line of these. So, yeah, I got the Panthers one. I think it looks pretty cool. All right, we got 2nd and 4. Lions into Packers territory. It's a handoff to Montgomery. Goes on the left side. Looks like he gets about 2, so we're going to have 3rd down upcoming. And if the Packers can pull this game off, it really shakes things up in the NFC North. And because I'm curious what the Vikings' remaining schedule is. All right, Goff back to throw. Throws across the middle. Gets Amon-Ra for about, I'd say, 12. It's a 1st down for the Lions. Oh, nice. Hey, if it works for you, that's all that matters. Nice pass to Amon-Ra over the middle. And so the Vikings, they've got the Falcons, the Bears, Seahawks, Packers, Lions. So 3 divisional games for the Vikings coming up. That could very well determine how the division pans out. All right, we've got a handoff to Gibbs on the left side. Still can't really get anything going. Only 2 yards as we wind under 12 minutes left in the game. Yeah, you're right, Sam. They play both Green Bay and Detroit. They also play Chicago. So yeah, how the ranking of like the division is still totally up for grabs. Goff out of shotgun, Gibbs to his left. 2 receivers on each side. Goff steps up into a clean pocket, throws, and it's complete to Sam Laporta for a first down at the Packers' 17-yard line. That's probably the cleanest pocket I've seen all day. Goff, perfect time up the middle, and just is able to find Laporta there. Yeah, I hear you, Sam. The only other one I can think of is maybe the NFC West, but that's less because they're good and, some confusion going on there. But it's a handoff to Amon-Ra, who's able to take it for a first down. And this is going to be goal to go, I believe. Yep, goal to go for the Lions. They're at about the 7-yard line. Yeah, very strange. We had offensive linemen pulling, receiver pulling, and it ends up being a jet sweep, but it looked like it was going to be a run by Gibbs to start with. Yeah, whenever you can get Penei Sewell out on the edge blocking against a corner, you know you've got a good matchup. And here's a handoff to Montgomery, pushing his way up the middle, gets about 3. Yeah, the West has changed division leaders so many times this season. I literally check the standings after every week, and it's usually someone else with the lead. I know Cardinals had it for a bit. I don't think the Rams have gotten it, but the 49ers had it a little bit in the beginning of the season, but then they started tanking. The Seahawks have had 3 wins in a row, though, so they've been able to I believe they have a 1-game lead now. Can't remember if they've beaten the Rams or not. But yeah, Rams are 6-6, Cardinals are 6-6. Montgomery up the middle again, gets it to about, they're probably the 2-yard line, I would say. It's either the 2 or the 1. We've got 3rd and goal, and I think Dan Campbell is in, with what he's been doing right now, I think they're really in 4-down territory here. Yeah, we've got a crazy one going here, Steven. All right, Goff. It's at like the 1.5-yard line. Moves his tight end in motion. Fakes to Montgomery. Throws, and he's got Tim Patrick for the touchdown. Tim Patrick's 2nd touchdown catch of the night. And the Lions retake the lead in this back-and-forth affair. It's a good play action. Goff surveys the field after it and is able to get an open Tim Patrick in the back of the end zone. And Bates kicks the extra point through. Lions reclaim their 3-point lead over the Packers. We're in for a great finish tonight. 8 minutes and 38 seconds left in the 4th quarter. It is 31-28 Lions over the Packers. Here, listening to my live reaction on the Dusty Tron channel. Yeah, I can't really say that this game has done anything to calm your nerves throughout the game so far. This one's going to come down right to the wire. And who knows, maybe Packers will tie it and it'll go into overtime. Yeah, I really hope the Lions go all the way this year, too. They've been such a long-suffering fan base, and they've been loyal. They deserve a Super Bowl win. I'd really love to see them win this year. And for those who are viewing now, if you could give the stream a like, helps out the channel a bunch. I'd really appreciate it. Yeah, and I feel like the Lions are just one of those teams who have had it so rough for so long. You just want them to succeed. I feel like the Browns before Deshaun Watson were kind of in that group. The Bills were another one. People want the Bills to win. All right, we got another like. 20 live viewers right now. Game coming down to the wire. Yeah, overtime wins are really stressful, and I really feel like since they give both teams a possession and it's only 10 minutes, it goes really fast and the odds of a tie are a lot higher. Yeah, I should know about overtime stress this last week with the Panthers. We got this missed field goal on the Bucks, get downfield, fumble the ball, and then lose. It was the worst. All right, Bakes kicks the ball away. When we still do not have a run back. Another touchback. No kickoff returns this entire game. Which would be absolutely hilarious if... It would be absolutely hilarious if this game went down to overtime and it was a touchdown off a kickoff return that won it. Seeing as there's been no returns the entire game. All right. Packers break the huddle. Love under center. He's got Jacobs in the backfield. Jacobs having a monster night tonight with 3 touchdown runs. Hands it off to Jacobs. Spin move in the backfield. There's a flag. Looks like it was before the ball is snapped. Going to be a false start. Yeah, it even hurts more when you were in field goal range and you fumble the ball. Yeah, it was bad. But I mean, it's growing pains for Hubbard. He took responsibility for the mistake. And I mean, the defense let the Bucks go down the field, so it's not all on Hubbard. All right, it was a false start. We've got a 1st and 15 for the Packers. Lions lead by 3, 31-28, 8:39 left in the 4th. Love hands it off to Jacobs, and he's only going to get 1 yard. Taken down by Carlton Davis. Yeah, Carlton Davis almost like lifts him up and body slams him there. Got a 2nd and 14 as we approach 8 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Jordan Love breaks huddle. Under center. He's got 2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. We've got 1 wide receiver moving in motion before. Oh, and we've got Jack Campbell in the backfield, but Love gets it off and completes it to Watson down the field, who gets it all the way to the 45 of the Lions. A huge play for the Packers. down the field and keeping the chains going. Yeah, Dolphins having a rough season, but they still got a chance. Although the Broncos win last week definitely hurts their 3 games out now. Oh, Carlton Davis got his hand on that ball a little bit, but couldn't quite get it away from Watson. Here's a toss to Jacobs on 1st and 10, and he's going to be taken down for no gain. Lions still doing a good job bottling up Jacobs at the line of scrimmage. They've been hit a lot by Jacobs today. Taking a look at Jacobs' running stats. He's at 65 yards, 3.8 a carry. So he's below the league average. Generally speaking, if you're a good running back, you want to be getting 4 a carry. All right, Love throws. He's got Dontavian Wicks. Dontavian Wicks breaks a tackle, gets it to the 20, dragged down at the 18. And that's another Packers first down, and they're in the red zone. Sorry, Steve, I'll stop. I'll start giving hope about the Dolphins. Rooting for a bad team, I try to keep myself optimistic. There's been so many years I'm like, oh, we'll still finish with a bad record, but the NFC South is so bad we still might win the division. But that's a big play for Dontavian Wicks there. Yeah, your secondary is definitely getting beat right now. And that could be because they're so focused on Josh Jacobs. Yeah, I want to say one of the biggest surprises of this year is the Commanders. Such a turnaround for that team. Yeah, Commanders and Broncos, I would say, are probably the biggest surprises right now. Surprises in the wrong direction, definitely San Francisco. But I would attribute that mostly to injury. We've seen these 49ers injury-plagued seasons before, like in the Garoppolo days and whatnot. Oh no, not Branch. We can't have Branch down. Lions are completely decimated on the defensive side of the ball. Can't afford another injury to a star player. Well, you still got Terry and Arnold out there. All right, Love in the shotgun with a 1st and 10 from the 19 of the Lions. He's back to throw, looking for a place to throw. Throws, gets Dontavian Wicks, and he's down to the 7-yard line of Detroit. And he's still down. It'll be interesting to see if it looked like his head might have hit the turf. Yeah, they could do a little bit better with clock management. They've left, apparently last week 30 seconds was too much time for the Bucks. The week before, 1.5 minutes for Mahomes. I mean, that's way too much. All right, we've got a 1st and goal for the Packers. Lions defense looking exhausted. Is Josh Jacobs going to get a 4th touchdown run? Love under center as we get under 5.5 to play. It is Jacobs with the carry. It's not going to be this play. He only gets 1 yard. Oh, pushing the pile a little bit. Still looks like it's only 1 yard. as the clock winds under 5. Can this be the time that the Lions hold the Packers to a field goal in the red zone? Packers are 4 for 4 on touchdowns in the red zone today. Love has Jaden Reed and Josh Jacobs in the backfield. Christian Watson out to the right. Love drops back. Throws. He's got Jacobs. It's a touchdown, but there are flags on the play. Josh Jacobs, okay, well, he didn't rush it in, but he did receive it and go into the end zone. But it looks like the flag is against Green Bay. Pass interference on the offense. Looks like they're going to call a pick. Looks like it's going to be against Christian Watson. And yeah, it's one of those ones where it kind of can go either way. I think it's a good call. He does kind of take a Lions receiver out of the play. So the Packers get a touchdown taken off the board, and they have 2nd and goal. That'll probably put them at like the 14-yard line. I believe it's a 10-yard penalty. Love out of shotgun with Brooks in the backfield. They're at the 16-yard line. Yep. Love back to throw. Getting pressured, throws off his back foot into the end zone and just throws it away. Incomplete. Yeah, the Panthers play the Eagles this week. I'd like a Panthers win. That's going to be tough for sure, though. Our run defense is so bad. I think Saquon... If you have Saquon... I mean... You start Saquon every week, but start Saquon in your fantasy lineups if you have him, because he's going to run all over the Panthers. All right, we got 3rd and goal. Tucker Kraft in motion, moves back to where he was. Love drops back, getting some pressure. Love taken down for a gain of 2. Turner drags him down. And now the Packers are going to have to settle for a field goal. I believe, oh, right, I think they have Brandon McManus now. They had Carlson at the beginning of the year, and he was messing up field goals. But McManus has been pretty solid. Yeah, Turner dragging Love down by his arm. And Love does have a receiver open in the end zone there, but just couldn't get it. McManus kicks it through, and with 3 minutes and 38 seconds left, we are tied at 31. Yeah, I mean, if the Lions can control the clock here, they definitely could just set up for a field goal and win the game. Coming down to the wire, we're tied at 31. You're listening to my live reactions here on the Dustytron channel. I agree, Sam. Eagles need to lose. I despise the Eagles. I grew up as a secondary, and I still am. I'm a secondary Giants fan. And those Donovan McNabb Eagles would always destroy the Giants. It was so frustrating. So I to this day have an impassioned hatred about the Philadelphia Eagles. I will say, though, I was rooting for the Nick Foles Eagles in the playoffs, in the Super Bowl against the Patriots, because I hate the Patriots more. Yeah, and it's got the green screen effect going on it. I didn't even set up a green screen here, but for some reason my software's still, like, glitching through it a little bit, so. Because it's a little too close to green. Green is like an automatic transparent or something. But yeah, I feel like the Lions have done a pretty good job at being able to control the clock. They did it really well at the beginning of at the end of the second half. If they can just repeat that here, get Jake Bates into a good field goal range, I think they can pull it off. But that being said, I'm going to keep my mouth shut because I did say that Jameis Winston would lead him down for a field goal, and literally in the next play, he threw that pick six. So I am not going to say anything in regards to predictions for what the Lions are going to do on this drive because I don't have a good track record. All right, I think it's McManus getting ready to kick off for what is sure to be another dynamic touchback. Yep. Still no kickoff returns. All right, let's see what the Lions can do here. These are the types of drive champions are made of. Can Goff lead his team to victory? All right, we've got Goff back to throw. Throws, he's got Jameson Williams wide open at the 50, and that's a huge first play for about 19 to 20 yards on first down. Yeah, just to out corner out, and Jameson Williams able to get separation there. The sleeves are a little baggy there. Yeah, that was a good catch. All right, Goff back to pass, throws, gets Tim Patrick. Tim Patrick having himself a night, and that is another Lions first down at the 40-yard line at Green Bay. Lions are in a perfect position right now to be able to control the clock as we run to about 3 minutes left. They've got their whole playbook open to them. You want this field goal to be as close to the last play of the game as you can. Take control of the clock. All right, Goff under center. It's a pitch to Gibbs, and Gibbs still not getting anything. 1 yard gain. But this could wind us down pretty close to the 2-minute warning. Just got a notification that Ja Morant got ejected by the Kings. In the Kings game. Ja Morant has such attitude problems. All right, we've got 2nd and 9. As they're going to have to do another play before the 2-minute warning. Throws to Jahmyr Gibbs. He's pushed out of bounds, but it doesn't really matter because it was the... Oh, no, it's 1 second before the 2-minute warning. That is terrible if that does not run out. J-Mo is a super talented wide receiver. It's just been overshadowed. He's been overshadowed by his suspensions and stuff, but he has got so much talent. That was a big mistake by Jahmyr Gibbs, not staying in bounds and not letting it run to the 2-minute warning. We've got a screen pass to Gibbs. Gibbs got some room. Oh, he gets the first down at the 29-yard line. Huge play. So he made a mistake the prior play, but makes a great play and an extra effort to get the first down. We are at the 2-minute warning, and it's tied up at 31 between the Lions and the Packers. You're listening to my live reactions here on the Dusty Tron channel. So yeah, after this, when the Lions get back to the line of scrimmage, it's going to be Packers got to start taking their timeouts, and they only have 2 of them. So really, the Lions can control a lot of this clock. Now, they're only at the 29, so they probably want to get a little bit closer. Jake Bates, he's been great, but you always got to worry a little bit about things going wrong on field goals. So make sure you get as close as you can and get it centered where you want it and run out as much as that clock as possible. Oh, Steve Spielman, that's a throwback. Oh, that's so cool that it's a Sanders that Sanders jersey. That's really neat. Sam, have you gotten any of the black jerseys yet? I feel like those look really, really sharp. Minute 55 left in the game. I love how they also put the blue numbers on those black jerseys. They just look so good. I would love to have one in my collection. I'll have to keep my eyes open for them. Oh yeah, I bet a black Amon-Ra jersey would be really cool to have. All right, it's Goff back to throw. Throws a screen to Montgomery, who stumbled a little bit, gets 3, but stays in bounds. Gonna force the Packers to call their second timeout. There is a flag down on the field, though. Yeah, I've been to a couple of Panthers games. I went to one at Bank of America Stadium. Went to one in Jacksonville. Yeah, I think that's... Oh, and I went to one in Buffalo. Yep. So it's a penalty on the Lions, holding. So that does stop the clock, but they retain the down. The yardage might be the bigger issue here, because that's going to push them back to about the 40-yard line. Alright, so the Lions have a 1st and 20. Looks like it's going to be, yeah, from the 40-yard line. That's a huge penalty there. It's a handoff to Montgomery, and he's only going to get about 3. So this is going to be a 1st and 17. Looks like the Packers are actually going to use their second timeout now. And this is the range where it's iffy. You're not really sure. It's not a guaranteed field goal from here. We've seen Jake Bates make some long ones. He had his first miss of the year last week though, and I believe it was only like a 48-yarder against Chicago. We'll have to see how this plays out. But definitely an exciting finish coming down the line here. Can the Lions get close enough to make the field goal easier? Yeah, I definitely feel like jerseys have gotten a lot more expensive now. Yeah, I rarely buy the new Nike ones anymore. It's Goff back to throw. Throws. He's got Amon-Ra by the first down marker. He gets thrown forward. It might be enough. Looks like it's right on the line from the spot. It'll depend on the spot. I'm not sure if it's third down or first down. First down would be huge. Yeah, Amon-Ra and Tim Patrick run the same route. Tim Patrick goes above Amon-Ra underneath. Goff chooses Amon-Ra. He's this guy that he goes to in clutch situations. Not sure what the holdup is here. Might be a clock malfunction, or they're trying to put more time on the clock. They're calling it 3rd and inches. He is short. I don't think it's necessarily something Dan Campbell wants to challenge here. Actually, it's under 2 minutes. He wouldn't be able to anyway. All right, this is the play of the game right here. Packers with no timeouts. Lions trying to get the first down. Regardless, the Lions will, if they miss it, they will be able to run the clock down a good deal, but the Packers would get a chance. And they give it to Montgomery. Oh gosh, I don't think he got it. And the initial mark by the official says he's 1 yard short. And I will tell you, Dan Campbell, this is not the time to go for it. Do not go for it right here. This is time to send your kicker out and take the 3. Packers will have their work cut out for them because they'll have no timeouts and only about 40 seconds. When the Panthers lost to the Bucks, it was 30 seconds, but the Bucks had all 3 timeouts. So yeah, 43 seconds on the clock right now. Jake Bates setting up for what should be about a 35-yard field goal. Yeah, I don't say. It would make no sense for Dan Campbell to go for it here. You've got a trustworthy kicker. You kick the field goal. You go to take the lead here. But, all right. I think they're trotting him out. Let's see what Detroit does. This has been a wild game. Can the Lions take the lead with under a minute left? The offense is still on the field. Dan Campbell, take the points. They might just try to draw them off sides. That's not a horrible thing to do here. Let it run down. have the Packers jump. They snapped the ball, and Montgomery got it. Montgomery got the first down. I do not believe that Dan Campbell did that. But he did, and the Lions get the first down, and they are going to be able to make the field goal be the last play of the game. Wow! I do not agree with that call at all. But it worked, and Goff trips on the handoff, but Montgomery's able to secure it, gets past the line to gain by a lot. Sam, that has got to be one of the most stressful plays to have watched ever. That is, I know your whole mentality is go for it on fourth, but there would only have been like 40 seconds left. I know it's a super aggressive play to ensure that your field goal is the last play of the game, but darn, that is crazy. Yeah, Dan Campbell believes in his guys. He believed in them to execute, so. The clock is stopped at 25 seconds for some reason. They just put 3 seconds back on for 28 seconds. What a crazy decision there. You could have thrown the game away by doing that and gone into overtime by bypassing the field goal. But Dan Campbell goes for it on fourth down and ensures that his field goal, it'll either be overtime or the Lions win. The Packers will not get a chance. So Goff is probably going to knee and just get it to where Jake Bates wants to kick it. Yep, he slides down at the left hash. They're going to run it down to probably about 3 seconds. They do 2 seconds. 2 seconds on the clock. Game comes down to this. About probably a 25-yard field goal, maybe a 25 to 30-yard field goal for Jake Bates. I am not going to do what commentators do and jinx the kicker, so I am going to say nothing about how he's made kicks in the past. I will wait and see what happens. All right, 2 seconds left. Jake Bates lines up for the kick. He can't be iced. The Packers have used all their timeouts. Kick is up, and it is good! The Lions have won the game on the last play with a walk-off field goal by Jake Bates. Wow! What a game for Detroit. What a gutsy game. And that is your final score. Lions 31. 34. Packers 31. What a win. That was such a crazy game. Such unnecessary risk-taking by Dan Campbell. But it paid off, and the Lions don't give Green Bay a chance to retaliate. At the end of the game, they kick a walk-off field goal, 34-31 the final. Just a crazy end. Jake Bates with about a 30-yard field goal knew he made it as soon as he kicked it. Oh, wow, they've never gotten above 11 wins in the Super Bowl era? What did they finish last year? I thought they got like 13 wins. Or you're just saying they've never been 12-1 before? All right, well, that's the game. What a game it was. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Haven't decided what game I'm going to stream next. I might do Monday Night Football, but it's Cowboys and Bengals, and that's kind of a meh matchup, so haven't decided if I'm going to do that yet. Yeah, they've never been 12-1 before. Okay, that makes sense. All right, everyone. Well, it was a great night. Thanks for tuning in. We had a blast, and I will see you next time here on the Dustytron channel. Have a good night, everyone.